Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's only answer to Harry Kane, bringing you the preview and everything else you need to know for tomorrow's Premier League game versus Sheffield United, the do or die for top four. We are joined by the Paxton Road boys, by Sean Mitchell and by Kieran. We'll start with the Paxton Road boys. We'll start with Shane and work our way around. How are you keeping, my man?
I'm all good, thank you. I'm all good. So, looking forward to this one.
No, it should be a good one. It should be a cracker for Sean. Absolute corker. Mike, how are you keeping, man?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good, thanks. I'm loving the intro there. I was singing. I was actually singing away during the intro. So no, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
Yeah, no, the intro was designed to get everyone pumped up before the stream starts, so it must be doing its effect if the panel are enjoying it. Sean, How are you keeping, my man?
Oh, brilliant, Dave. Brilliant. Looking forward to a good run in. I think we've got a good chance of getting a couple of 3 points here, hopefully, if Winksy doesn't start. But sure, other than that, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, my man.
100%. And Darius, how are you keeping, man?
Mate, with this Tottenham manager thing, I've been so entertained just watching us getting rejected and looking for new managers and getting rejected. So I've just been keeping entertained with that. But apart from that, this Sheffield game is so big for me. Like, I just want to see our team perform in this game, and there's no excuse not to. So come on, you Spurs, let's see a good performance.
No, 100%. Look, it's like that TV show that your man hosts where he goes, no likey, no likeys. You know, that's what it's like.
Paddy McGuinness, lad. Paddy
McGuinness. How are you keeping, Kieran?
Keeping good. Like Darius said, I think tomorrow's massive. You know, the boys need to bounce back as well. Like, this is the first game back after the cup final as well. So, you know, time to show what they're made of.
Yeah, 100%. But look, before we get into it, let's do a few formalities. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel if you're new. And also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in when the chat hots up. It's the way to go if you want us to stop exactly what we're talking about and read out your comments and discuss it. But as usual, I know some people aren't in that position, so I will always try and get your comments up on screen. But look, we'll get straight into it. What you need to know is we're at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 7:15 p.m. kickoff. You can watch it on Sky Sports or get over to the best watch along in the business, which is Matty Hayes. Or you can do both. You can join me on the pre-match pump up on We Are Tottenham TV, starting at 5:30. And that's a great show. It's an absolute cracker. You don't want to miss it. It's basically you, the fans, come on and have your say before the game on what you think is going to unfold. And the man in the middle tomorrow is Andre Mariner. But look, Spurs are looking to complete their first league double over Sheffield United since the 75-76 season. Sam, are you confident? Can we do it? Or do you think we're going to suffer from a club hangover?
Just throw that in there. Am I confident? We should be. I should be confident. We should be confident. It's the bottom of the league. I think they won their last game, Sheffield United, but they're pants at the moment. I know we're not that much better, but it's Sheffield United. Come on now. Let's not get it twisted. We should be not even going there. We're at home. We should be taking this lot apart. There's no pressure on us, really. I know there's a possibility of a top four shout, but the lads should be just going out after last week's performance in that cup final. They owe us. They owe us the fans a performance. So I'm hoping that we'll go out, play well, and the rest should take care of itself. I'm expecting a win. Although saying that, I said on our preview show, I'm only going to nick it 1-0. But in reality, we should win this game. We should definitely win this game.
No, we should be. No excuses. If we don't win this tomorrow, honestly, I'll be sitting here after just ranting and raving, going nuts. Because, you know, you can't be losing to a team that are sitting 20th with 17 points all season. You just cannot lose to these guys. You know, in fact, it's nearly impossible to lose to these guys. Their points tally tell us that. But look, Mike, Sheffield United are winless in all 4 of their Premier League away games against us. So surely that's a good omen for us tomorrow. And again, do you think we're going to win?
You'd like to think it's a good onus for us. I said it on Paxton earlier today that we need to forget about the Man City game. Scrap it. It's been and gone. And what we should try and do is take the positives from the Southampton game. Maybe not so much the first half, but certainly the second half, whereby we dominated possession. I think we probably got more shots on goal than I've probably seen us under Mourinho all season. And yeah, we should be beating Sheffield United. I mean, they're bottom of the league. They're already relegated, so it should be nothing but that. Well, nothing but 3 points. Nothing but 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
100%. But we do have to remember at the end of the day, Mike, we are Tottenham Hotspur, don't we?
I'm trying not to think about that. But yeah, let's hope Mason's. He's got the team G'd up for tomorrow. He's got that cup final defeat out of their system, and they're sort of looking to tomorrow with nothing but 3 points on their mind.
Yeah, I'd hope so. Has to be. Yeah, look, we do, because if not, top 4 is over tomorrow. That's my opinion. If we don't get 3 points,
but that's it. If you can't get 3 points against bottom of the league, then you might as well write our hopes off for the rest of the season in getting top 4, and you might as well bleed some of the youngsters and see what they're about. Because if you can't beat top 4, then if you can't beat bottom of the league, then yeah, top 4's it's out of the question. Nothing but 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, no, hopefully we will be all sitting there chanting and singing and collecting 3 points. But Sean, are you confident we're going to win tomorrow? Because, Mason in his press conference was saying, these last 5 games is 5 cup finals. We haven't scored a goal in our last 4 cup finals, and we can't win a cup final. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, that sounds worrying in itself. Never mind anything else on top of that. You just wonder what type of state the lads are going to be in mentally, because I know the team did take a big hit since the Champions League final, and now we get into another final, and then we lose that again. So you just think mentally they're going to be struggling. You wonder, are they going to have the will, the heart, and desire to go out there and to challenge for it and to try and get top 4 and to finish strong? Like, out of the past five times we've played Sheffield, it's been 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So the stats are kind of against us, but like you said, they haven't beaten us on our home turf. So it's kind of like it looks a little bit positive. I don't know. I think it's sketchy again. I could be going 1-0. It could go either way for me, man. I just don't know. I don't feel too confident about it at the minute.
Yeah, and that reflects the current state of affairs at the club as well. No one's really confident in what's going on at the minute. But look, Darius, surely we can beat these. Surely.
I just literally what you said earlier on. I just want to get onto that. You said something about you'd be ranting if we lost. You know what? Honestly, David, I'd be ranting if we don't put on a good performance against this team, because I believe that against Sheffield United, and with all due respect to Sheffield United, they are not doing well this season. They are they are officially relegated. They pretty much have nothing to play for apart from their pride. In my opinion, Spurs should be licking their wounds, and with the quality of the players that we've got, we should really be going into this game thinking, let's kind of prove a point, let's set a marker, and let's use this game to kind of push on for the next 4 games. Because I kind of disagree, or not disagree with what Ryan Mason said, but I don't think he should have came out and said necessarily that we're in 5 cup finals. I think that kind of puts on a needed pressure, because I don't really think these players believe that they're going to be in the top 4, especially after Chelsea won today. So I just think that to go out and prove yourself and prove that you're still a good enough player and you could actually still play for this team. Because a lot of these players, to me, that are kind of on the fringes of the team and maybe not playing, that are complaining maybe that they're not getting the minutes, I haven't really seen enough from those guys to kind of warrant that place in the starting 11. So this game, personally, is the perfect game to kind of get those players or get them their confidence back so they can potentially maybe be fighting for a place next season with a new manager. Or you never know, value may go up in these last 5 games. If Dele Alli plays 5 great games and he goes on in the summer, we might be able to get an extra 5-10 million out of him. You never know. So it's just a game to really, for all the players to kind of get, like Mike said, put that final behind you. It's over now. You've lost. Man City are a very good team, probably the best team in Europe at the moment. So you just have to use the next game as a confidence boost and take that into 100%. The next 5 games. So
yeah. No, look, you had me pumped until you mentioned Dele Alli. I know, I was all for it. I was getting psyched out for this game. I was about to start headbutting the wall and everything. Darius, you got me so pumped. And then you mentioned Dele Alli, man.
This guy
is a thorn in my side. But anyway, we'll move on. Kieran, look, Sheffield United have won just one of their last 25 Premier League games in London. So surely, they don't travel to London well, so surely we're going to do them.
In all reality, like we should, and like Darius said, if we're not putting on a good performance and we're not dominating this game tomorrow, we should all be ranting. Because if you look at it, fair enough, we've got Ryan Mason as caretaker manager, but they're in 20th place. I think they've got 4 wins across the whole season. They've also got a caretaker manager already relegated. They've got nothing to play for. Realistically, these players, like Mike said, we've kind of got to forget about the cup final now in a way. But for the players, that's the last game they played. They should be coming out and making a statement. Realistically, mathematically, we can still make top 4. And if you look at the opponents we've got Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Villa, and then Leicester. It's all a step up. So if we don't come out this game, dominate and smash this game and take 3 points, are we going to take points from any of the remaining 4 after that?
Yeah, that's true.
Statement.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But look, before we get into a bit of team news, we will welcome a few people to the stream. We have Cody Mack. He says everywhere we go. We have Wayne Bonner. He says, how are we this evening, fellas? Enoch. Actually, yeah, there we are. StreamYard's playing up a bit here today, lads. Sorry about that. I actually don't know what's going on here. Anyway, we'll move on because the comments, I don't know, StreamYard's acting up here. But look, lads, Ben Davies is the only player out. He's been out for the last 6 weeks with an ankle injury. Shame. He's not really much of a loss, is he?
Ben Davies.
Do you know what? Do you know what, David? I would probably have played Ben Davies over Reggie in the last couple of games. I think he's been poor, terrible.
Come on,
I know what
Davies.
But
this is Ben Davies.
I know, of course, mate. And Reggie as a player,
right round, Davies, right round.
Reggie as a player technically is obviously superior to Ben Davies, but I haven't seen in the last few performances from Reggie. I probably would have played Ben Davies over him at the moment because I just think he's been poor, terrible, in fact.
I just think
Ben Davies gets a nosebleed when he goes past halfway, man.
Yeah,
but at least he would have been solid, though, innit? Because
but the thing is, we need goals now. We can't even afford to be just being solid because we know that our centre backs are shocking. So even if he's solid, the rest of them are going to be shit anyway. So we just need to score goals, and attacking has got to be the way forward.
I think he hasn't even done that. He hasn't even done that, though, has he?
100%, man.
God. He hasn't.
Mike, do you have a soft spot for Ben Davies? I think
no, honestly, I just think Reggie's just been. I think he's been ponied. I'd say the last 5 games he has been absolutely disgraceful.
He's not at his best. No,
he's not. He's not provided anything going forward, let alone from a defensive perspective. But I don't know. Yeah.
No, look, I'd agree. Reguilon, I think he has been poor. But I still think he's still 10 times better than Ben Davies. Ben Davies, a lot of people say he's great defensively, but there's loads of times he's been caught out this season. Loads of times he's been very poor anytime he has played.
But it's the same with Aurier. How much do we as a team give Reguilon that sort of it's Reguilon. We'll excuse his bad performances because it's him. I don't know. I just
think with Reguilon though, we have to give him a bit more of a chance because he's. I know he's not had the best of games in the last few, but then there's a lot of players in our team that haven't had good games, a lot of them. And for him just to be almost like the scapegoat, Aurier was terrible in that final. He was absolutely terrible what he did. And our defence, I know the centre-backs played well, but previous to that, they're shocking, absolutely shocking. And we obviously know we can't mention certain names on here, and we're not going to. But do you know what I mean? Number 6, he's nowhere to be seen. And even Ryan Mason's not playing him now because he knows he can't play that guy.
The thing is, though, they've all been dropped, haven't they? Where Reggie hasn't been dropped since that first poor game. I can't remember the game where I thought he was terrible, about 4 or 5 games ago. But all those players that have had a poor game have been subbed, and someone else has come in. But Reggie, I think maybe because Davis has been injured, he's been fortunate that he hasn't been dropped. But I don't know. He needs something like a rocket or, I don't know, sank up his backside to get him going again because... I think he's been one of the worst players for us recently.
This would be a good game, though. This would be a good game, a good opportunity, build the confidence. If you're coming out and you're playing the worst team in the league, it's a good opportunity to kind of get your head back in the game, get screwed on, build up the confidence, and get the flow going again. I don't think he was subbed for the last few times because what he offers in attack, like if he's being shocking in defence, what he offers on his forward runs and with the balls he can put into the box, I don't think there'd be a reason to take him off.
But there's been no one to sub him for anyway, because we don't have another left back there.
I mean, that's the thing with Davies and Reguilon. They're complete opposites. Reguilon's best attributes are going forward,
100%.
like realistically as a wing back. And if you look at Davies, he's probably a little bit more solidly defensively. But like you said, he gets a nosebleed when he goes past halfway line. He looks lost. He doesn't know where he is. Half time once he goes past that halfway line. So even if Reguilon has been poor, I'd still probably play Reguilon tomorrow against Sheffield United because I'd probably want to be on the front foot with the fullback.
Sheffield United. Let's not get into it. It's not Man City. It's Sheffield United, lads. We should be able to play me at left back and us still be able to do it. Come on.
We thought that in the Europa League as well, though, man. And look what happened.
Not
Bad memories.
That's the thing. Lads, the comment section is back working there, so I will welcome a few people to the stream. Cody Max says, everywhere we go. Come on, Cody. Wayne Bonner with the €2 super chat, my man Wayne. He says, how are we this evening, fellas? Hashtag Ian Cow. Wayne, I speak for everybody. We are in fantastic form here today, as you can see by the opening 15 minutes of the show. Killian Kenny says, hi, David Harris. Come on, you Spurs. I predict 4-1 versus Sheffield United. Big yourself up. And we have Piash Rayo. He says, hi, Cody. Cody Mack. We have Full Mimps in the building. Big him up. He says, where are you? The Irish spots. Hotspur, don't worry, I'm here. You can't miss me when I get going, man. I'm too loud. Joseph Hattel, he's in the building. Big yourself up. Carlos Diablo, William McKenzie. We have Sumdai Young. We have Adam Fox. He says, come on, you Spurs. Let's end this season on a high. I absolutely love it. Tottenham away evening, guys. That Sam gets everywhere like someone else we know. Big up Tottenham away. Great stream today, by the way, Tottenham away. I really enjoyed it. Sue Smith says, hi, David and guys, babysitting, but we'll try and pop in and out. No problem. Look, just as long as them kids don't get in any harm just because you're listening to the Irish Hotspur. Matt Hayes is in the building. Big up, Matt. ATX7 Gaming, big yourself up. We have Paul Brown in the building. He says, evening, David panel. We possibly won't keep a clean sheet, so we'll predict 3-1. Yeah, look, I don't care as long as we get a win. Shy is in the building from Tottenham away. Big up, Shy. He says, great panel. They have no excuses for at least 3 of the last 5 games. Sheffield United, Wolves and Villa don't just want the points, but big performances as well. Come on, you Spurs. Harris Army. No, 100%. I agree with that. We should even be beating Leeds. We should be beating for them and taking it down to the last game against Leicester if we can. Matt Hayes is saying he won't have anybody say I'm bad about Dele Alli. I'm sorry, Matty, but I already did. It's too late, my man.
Lots more words to say about him as well if you want. Lots more words.
Rico, Z99, good news. Everton are losing. Yeah, that's good news. Wayne Bonner with another super chat, my man. He says, my starting 11, Hugo Reguilon, Aria Roden, Tanganga, Højbjerg, and Dembele, Divine Son, Kane, and Scarlett. Wayne Bonner's going for a good bit of youth in there, maybe try and get the boys to maybe play a bit better and basically showing them that their positions just aren't guaranteed. But I like that lineup, Wayne. Fair play. Thanks for the super chat as well, my man. Really do appreciate it. And the Mountie, why am I nervous about tomorrow? Guess Tottenham have destroyed my hope and belief. Yeah, probably destroyed a lot of our hopes and belief. But look, we still have to support the boys and sing them out for the last 5 games. And then Matt Hayes says, last time you're coming on my channel, David, hashtag free Delhi. No, it's not. Don't worry, I'll be there for the watch along, Matty. You can't get rid of me, my man. And then Bob Spurs in the building. He says thoughts on Rafa coming, confirming interest in Spurs. I will get on to that in a little bit, Bob. But lads, this StreamYard is going nuts today. But look, where are we? Yeah, so will we see a return for Tanga and Dembele tomorrow? Do you think maybe we have to drop Winks, even though he played the cup final, we have to drop Winks because Tanga and Dembele, he did score in the reverse fixture, the 3-1 win at Bramall Lane. And he's the sort of player we missed against City where he can pick up the ball and run out with it and beat a few players. So we'll work our way around the panel, give everyone a say. So what do you think, Shane?
In terms of the starting 11 tomorrow, I kind of touched on it earlier. I don't want to see Aurier play tomorrow, if I'm honest with you. I'd rather have Tanganga play at right back. The centre-backs, as I said, in terms of what they did, they had a decent enough game against City. So I'd keep Dyer and I'd keep Alderweireld. As I said, Reguilon's going to have to. It's the midfield which I'm a bit. I just think that them not playing Ndombele at all in that semi-final, in that final, tells me there's a lot going off with him. And I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. I don't think I've seen him start. I don't want to see Winks start though, so I think it might be Højbjerg. Who else did I say? Lo Celso. I'm going to free Dele because I think he might play tomorrow, and then number 10. And then my front lineup, I'm going to go with Son, I'm going to go with Kane, and I'm going to go with Moura on that right hand side. And as long as them players put some effort in and just at least show some fight, show some spirit, I think we just got to go for the goals. I don't think we can keep clean sheets. All I've said, we're going to win 1-0. I just think we just got to go for it. And if it's going to be a 2-1 or a 3-2 or 3, whatever it is, just let the players off the leash and play as much football as they can. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah,
I'm hoping the same. Let's just big up Premier Hotspur. He's in the building as well. Jordan Stevens, C. Wilson, 1, 2, 3, Coys, and Terry Bishop, and Everton Football as well. Let's welcome them all. But Mike, what do you think? Ndombele to start? Or do you think he'll still be on the bench?
I personally, I don't want to see Winks on the pitch. I still ask this question as to how did he actually start that cup final? There's no plausible explanation other than he's probably Mason's mate that he got a run out in that. Well, I say a run out. He got 90 minutes, didn't he? So
he got a whole game.
It's baffling. I don't understand what does he bring to the team? He didn't bring anything to that game either. So, I mean, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth if Ndombele can't start that cup final, but he can start against bottom of the league. I think it takes the mick a little bit. But I would like to see him back in the side because he's an outlet for the back line when they've got possession. Because against Man City, 9 times out of 10, there was nothing from the midfield for them to have an outlet. So it was either going out wide or it was going out long, which we then lost possession. So Ndombele, for that reason, he's got a start to give that back line an outlet for the midfield to come into play and obviously to bring the rest of the team into play. But yeah, Ndombele for me, he has to start. I don't want to see Winks. I don't want to see number 17. Lo Celso could. I mean, I know Sam's mentioned it. Lo Celso could play in that pivot alongside.
I honestly think he is.
He could. And I mean, you could always bring Lo Celso in that double pivot with Højbjerg and play on Ndombele in the number 10.
Yeah.
And he's shown that. I mean, he can play in that position. I mean, equally, you could put Moura. I mean, Moura again. He's another name that he hasn't really had a bad game since he came back into the side, and he brings a lot of energy. I know he's a little bit headless sometimes, and you don't know what he's doing. But then the opposition don't know what he's doing, so it kind of plays out in that sense. But and then you've got Ali, but I don't know if I'd play him again for the rest of the season, to be honest. So, yeah, going back to your question, David, me personally, I would find a spot for Ndombele tomorrow, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I do think he has to play. And just to answer Connor 69's question here, he says, "What part of Ireland are you from?" I'm from Belfast. Man, I'm from down south. I'm from Kildare, man. You know, the home of horse racing, even though I'm allergic to horses. But, and Wayne Bonner here with a super chat. He says Winks was on the pitch, but did he play? No, he didn't play. And this is what I keep telling people about Winks. You know, the reason why people couldn't criticise Winks after the game is because he didn't get on the ball and done nothing off the ball. So you know, his name wasn't around for people to criticise. But big up Wayne Bonner for the super chat. My man, everyone else, you know, get your super chats in. They really are appreciated and really do help the channel grow. But Sean, Ndombele tomorrow, surely this guy has to play.
I'd be worried if he didn't, Dave. I honestly really, really would. I would be questioning everything. If I see Harry Winks out on that pitch, it shows that there's just nobody wants to do anything. The people high up in the club don't want us to achieve anything. That's what they want. And the man is an absolute disgrace. Like you're saying, to actually realise how bad Winks is, you have to watch him for all the time he's on that pitch. He goes missing, but you have to keep looking for him.
I call him high goal seat champ. Yeah, I call him high goal seat champ.
That's it, man. I'm telling you, he got the full 90 minutes because even Mason didn't know he was out there. So he just completely forgot about him. That's the only reason he would have got 90 minutes. It has to be Ndombele to start in midfield. 100% it has to be. And Jesus, if I see Sissoko in there as well, I don't know how he's managed. The chap has 2 left feet. He can't even tie his own laces. Never mind kick a ball. If I see him in there as well, man, I know. No point in holding out for a draw. No point in holding out for a draw. We need to go for the jugular tomorrow. It has to be goals. And we need that Højbjerg, and it has to be Ndombele in there. 100%. It has to be.
100%. And Darius, what do you think? Because for me, obviously Winks was played against City to try and break the lines. He just couldn't do it. Ndombele is the man to do it, isn't he? We've seen him do it time and time again this season.
Honestly, mate, I still don't get it. I'm even more, like Mike said, I'm even more confused now than I am on the actual day of the final as to why he actually started. Even if like Harry Winks is more defensively solid than Ndombele, regardless of that, you're playing the most press intense team and you put the most press resistant player on the bench. I don't get it, and I don't get it. And if Ndombele doesn't start against Sheffield United, it's a travesty. It's a genuine travesty. And you even if you're going to play Winks, don't sacrifice Ndombele. Sacrifice Lo Celso of all players. If you're going to play him, don't not play Ndombele. He's our best player.
Just a quick thing. How comes he didn't even come on in the final? He was on the bench. He didn't make 1 minute of an appearance. Nothing.
Like I said, I think it was just panic. I think Mason and Mourinho during the end of their tenures, during the end of Mourinho's tenure and during Mason's current few games that he's been in charge, they don't really make substitutions that are tactical. I think they kind of just panic and kind of press the panic button and make a sub. The typical Jose sub was Bale on at 80 minutes or Bale on when we conceded. You knew that was going to happen every game. So I just don't think that the subs really matter to those managers. I think they're just tactical. And if a player gets injured or a player is really, really tired, they'll bring him off. If I see, and I'm going to call him this, if I see Dele Marley play, then I don't know what I'm going to do, because his head's not in it. His head's not in it. It's clear his head's not in it. And I don't really want to see players. I'd rather, and this is crazy to me. This is crazy to say, but I'd rather see Winks. He at least looks like he wants to play.
No, you wouldn't rather see Winks.
No, I would.
Let's
Dele
Dele
Marley is too busy doing boo-hoo shit and figuring out what flipping t-shirt he's going to wear for his next. I don't want to see Dele. His head's not in it.
I'd rather play with 10 men.
Honestly, Ndombele has to start. He has to start tomorrow. I don't think that's even. If I don't see him on that lineup, I will be fuming, because he'll be perfect against that Sheffield United team. I don't think they're going to come out and attack, even though they sometimes play this flying centre backs. They're not going to do that away.
Wasn't it home against Sheffield that he scored that worldie? He
scored that beautiful chip goal, and he was good in that game as well. He was the penetrative passes against those 3 defenders are going to be key to kind of opening up that Sheffield United defense. And I think that he is our best player in terms of playing those threaded balls. I think Højbjerg is good at them as well. I think he's very underrated at those threaded balls, but playing those balls through the lines is going to be key for that game. And if we're going to dominate the game, we want to have somebody who can keep on possession and keep playing the ball, keep the ball ticking. So, and Ndombele, for me, it's a no-brainer. He should have started in the final, and he has to start on the weekend.
100%. And just before we get Kieran's thoughts, Wayne Bonner says the ref played more in the final than Winks did. Look, Wayne, that's true. That's true. 100% it's true. There's no bigger stage for Winks to play a high goal sink than at Wembley. You know what I mean? So fair play to him. He's the champion. He won it. He's the only Spurs player that day that got a medal at Wembley, for being the champion high goal sink. But I do have 2 more questions on Ndombele, so I do want to get Kieran's thoughts first.
Yeah, look, I agree with everyone else.
You can't make it up. I'm sorry, David. Sorry, but guys.
The thing was, sorry, Kieran. On the last stream I was on, Stel was trying to convince me. He was trying. Harry Winks is actually a decent player. I was like, "What? Are you mad? Yeah, he's not. He's rubbish. He's a high goat seat champion."
Stel was on the wind-up. That's what Stel was. Trust me, man. No, but Winks is the high goal seat champion. 100%. Like I said, the only player to get a medal at Wembley that day. Tottenham player. But Kieran, what is your thoughts, my man?
To be honest, I don't think this should even be a question.
Tell him again.
Yes, you know what I mean? I shouldn't even have to sit here and explain why he should be starting tomorrow. After that final. Who are you going to put in ahead of him? Ali, Winks, or Sissoko? Either that, or Lo Celso in the DM role and you're playing Lucas in the 10, which, you know, I'd rather have Ndombele there than Lo Celso. You know, like, unless he's going to bring in someone from the youth academy. But realistically, when we still can mathematically make top 4, is he going to be as bold as that? I don't think he will. I think he'll just play some of his bigger name players. I reckon Bale will probably start as well, just because he's a bigger name player and Mason knows him.
Yeah, 100%. Super chat here from Will Stewart. Big up Will Stewart, THFC rant. You know, we were talking about the stream that off air that we done with Marcelo and that night when there's loads of us about the Super League. You know, everyone telling him how much of a crack it was. So big yourself up, Will. And recently over 500 subs as well. So keep it going, Will. He says, I think Ndombele doesn't respect Mason. That's why he isn't playing. I don't blame him. I don't think I would either. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Will, my way is looking at it, and it's actually a timely super chat, Will, because I was going to ask the panel. First of all, I was listening on Tottenham Away, and I have been a huge critic of Ndombele's fitness, and I can understand what you guys were saying on the stream today, basically saying, you know, that he isn't being used in his right position, and I get that. But first of all, I'm going to go around the panel and give everyone get a quick answer off for everybody, because these questions weren't even in the show. But is Ndombele's fitness a problem? Because, you know, it wasn't so long ago he was playing 6th tier of French football. So is it taking him his time to get up to speed? And on the cup final selection, so Will reckons that it happened because he doesn't respect Mason, which could be true. But my thinking on it, looking at that team, it was probably a Daniel Levy selection, to be honest with you. But we'll get everyone's thoughts quickly on it. So what do you think, Shane?
You know what? I'm not buying into this. Ndombele's not fit. I think he's fit. I've seen him play 90 minutes. I've seen him do it. And I said this earlier. I said what with Ndombele is, I just think he sees and looks around when the team's not playing well. He looks around the pitch, looks to his left, looks to his right, and thinks to himself, "These players are just not at my level." And he kind of just drops. He just thinks, "I can't be asked." And he starts to maybe stroll around a little bit. And his attitude, he always seems to have this. From the outside, looks like his attitude is like he doesn't care. So when his number goes up and he's subbed off, he's kind of like trudging off, and it looks like he don't care. But Jose, I don't know what games Jose was trying to do with him, saying, "Oh, we're going to build him up, we're going to play him 50 minutes, and then playing 60 minutes." So every time now, he kind of thinks to himself, when that substitute board goes up, is it going to be me? Is it going to be me going off? Just let the guy play, but don't give him as much responsibility as what they're trying to put on him. Jose wants players to kind of, you know, attack and then defend and then defend and then attack. You know what I mean? Just let him get the ball, dictate play, and do what he does best. Is breaking them lines, getting them ball. Nobody can get the ball off him. So why would you want him to have to go back in defense and then try and go up front to do the same thing? Let him do what he wants to do. Free roll, get him the ball, and let him hurt opposition. And if he doesn't play tomorrow and doesn't do that, then there is a problem. There is a real problem, because Sheffield United are pants.
And do you think, like Will says here, that Ndombele probably missed the final because he doesn't respect Mason, or do you think maybe that was a Daniel Levy selection for the final?
I don't know. I honestly, for the life of me, I don't know. Even if that was the case and we're losing the game or we're not playing that well, surely you would bring someone like him on to try and get some sort of control, because we had no control in that City game. So even in the second half, 65 minutes, 70 minutes, you know what? I know we don't get on whatever, I'll throw you. And Jose's done that plenty of times. He don't get on with half the players in that bloody squad, but he was still playing them. So why can't you just put that aside and bring your most talented player on the pitch? You know? So I didn't get it. I didn't understand it.
Yeah. And we'll go to the Hustler. Let's bring in the Hustler, Mike, next.
I tend to agree with what Sam's saying. I think his fitness isn't really the issue. I just think it's a case that no manager knows where Ndombele's best position is. Me personally, I would try him in the free role. Just give him a free role in the number 10 and just let him just see what he can do. We all know he's a great player. No one can get the ball off him. And I honestly think it's just a case that the managers just don't know where his best position is. Because whenever you see him playing for France, he seems to be like, or when I've seen him play for France, he seems to be able to step it up and and his whole attitude and everything about him just seems more positive. Obviously, France are a better football team than Tottenham, but yeah, this whole fitness, I don't buy into it. And with regards to whether he's got an issue with Mason, if he has, you can't really blame him, because I mean, what's Mason done in his career that would potentially earn the respect from someone like Ndombele or any of those players, really? If there is an issue, you'd like to think that these guys are professionals, so that should all be put aside for the good of the club and for the good of the team. And you'd want your best 11 on that pitch, regardless if you've got issues with certain players. So yeah, I don't really quite buy into that whole lack of fitness. And even if he was lacking in fitness, I'd still have him over Winks, number 17,
all day long.
Every day. If he's 70-80% fit, for me, it's a no-brainer. I'd start him regardless. It's for me. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, 100%. And big up Will Stewart for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. What a legend. I'm Wayne Bonner so far. Everyone else, get your super chats in, show your support for this channel, for the Irish Hotspur, and let's see how far we can take this on YouTube. Well, Sean, what do you think on Endo? Do you think it's a fitness problem, or do you think, like, obviously playing him out of position isn't helping him either, but what do you think of his fitness, and do you think the cup selection was a Daniel Levy selection?
Definitely don't think fitness is an issue. If you're going to be training at the level that they're training at every single day, you're going to be fit. You know, it's not like he's been missing from training either. So he's been there. He's training every single day with the squad, doing the same things they're doing. He's fit. For me, it's no question about it. I think that the selection for the final was definitely way above Mason's pay grade. That decision was made as to who was going to play. I kind of feel sorry for the chap. He didn't really get to pick his lineup, but no, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And Darius, what about you, my man?
I don't know if it's just me, but I love Ndombele for how he is. I think he's just the player he is sort of that nonchalant, I'm gonna do what I want, silky, not really gonna press intensely. And I think that Jose did get him to work harder than he would have. And I agree with you, Sam, because I was listening to what you were saying and I kind of was trying to think of another reason. And the fact that he's not really surrounded by
You're
much
only
quality.
agreeing with him because he probably threatened you with no dinner tonight.
Mate, he's turned off my flipping Wi-Fi. I can't even get on. No, honestly though, I think that he's just one of those players where you kind of a little bit like Mesut Ozil, where you're not going to see a lot of effort out of him. Jose Mourinho is going to get a lot of effort out of him because Jose Mourinho can kind of say, I'm Jose Mourinho and you're going to play for me. But Ryan Mason isn't going to be able to do that. So I think that if you're going to get the best out of Ndombele and you're not going to be able to have that sort of credit in the bank to sort of say what you want to him, you have to play him in a position that's going to help. And the best thing for him is possession based. It's a possession based formation and position. If he's chasing the ball and constantly defending, you're not going to see the best of Ndombele. Ndombele is best when he's on the ball, dictating play, controlling the game. So for me, to get the best out of Ndombele, you need to make sure that your system and your tactics are set up to help him out in the best way possible. And I think that he could play in a double pivot with Højbjerg, or he could play in the number 10. I think it doesn't really matter. I think just as long as we are dominating majority of the ball and he is kind of everything is going through him, I think that you will see him playing better, or you'll think that he's playing better than he is just because he's on the ball a lot more. Obviously, when we're getting dominated by big teams and we don't have much possession, he's sort of the ball's almost going past him sometimes. And I think that partly is his fault. He doesn't want to work hard, and you do expect a sort of level of performance from every player. But again, he's never really been that player. Even at Lyon, he wasn't that player. He kind of would know he can beat a man and would beat a man and get that done with. So I just think that playing to a lot of these players' strengths, you'll see an uptick in their performance. And maybe you'll think that I think, like I said, there's certain players that I don't think are better, will get any better. But there are certain players that I believe, even Gareth Bale, so far, I think Gareth Bale could have had a better season if we were slightly more dominating on the ball and in possession. I think that if he was fed balls more often and he was taking shots and he was dictating the play, he'd probably have a few more goals, and he's still done all right. So I just think the system and the tactics really do make a massive difference on how we perceive a player to perform and what that can do to help their performance.
Yeah, no, 100%. Just before we get Kieran's thoughts,
you go on.
Gavin O'Shea's putting in a few comments about Tottenham. What I will say is Tottenham are so bad, they mustn't be too bad because you're over here watching Tottenham content. And to be honest with you, I do believe you're a closet Tottenham fan. So come on out the closet. Just, wear your Spurs jersey with pride. It's all you have to do. You don't need to be saying Tottenham are bad for the attention. Just put on your Spurs jersey and become one of us. It's all you have to do. I know you're a closet Spurs fan. But sorry, Kieran, go on.
Before Kieran goes on, Kieran, could I just say, there's that comment up there from Some Die Young. I think that's the funniest thing I've seen tonight. It's called Harry Winks, Harry Stinks. That's the best name. That's got to be.
He's got that off me, man. I've been calling Harry Winks, Harry Stinks for ages on this channel.
Jesus, Harry Stinks. Oh, God, that's quality. Sorry.
Oh, man.
No, man, you know me, lads. I have a nickname for nearly every player in this team, man. Go on, Kieran.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, I think I think we all kind of like Ndombele for the same reasons Darius was saying. He's just kind of that nonchalant player that just kind of strolls around the pitch. But as soon as he gets the ball, you just expect something from him, like a little bit of magic, like turn and beat two players. I don't think it's a fitness issue with him because let's be real, if you're still not fit when there's only 5 games left in a season, you're never going to be fit. He's not missed out with injuries. So how can he not be fit? He's played games across the... You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing about he's not fit is ridiculous. I think he's a little bit lazy sometimes when it comes to, like, the defensive side of things. To be honest, I thought, like, obviously some people might disagree with me here, but I thought that's maybe why Winks being started in the final, just because 100%. I thought, okay, maybe Winks going to start just to kind of run around, try and keep us in the game, do that defensive work, and then he's going to bring on Ndombele when people are tired, the space opens up a little bit. Yeah. And then he never came on, which I was baffled by. But
the whole world is baffled.
I think with Ndombele, look, he's just sometimes. I think he wants to be. I don't think he wants to play in that deeper role. He wants to play in a more advanced midfield role where he can just kind of pick up the ball and do his own thing. I don't think he wants to be, like Højbjerg, running across the pitch, intercepting the balls, making tackles in front of the back line. He's not that type of player. He's the type of player you win the ball, you give it to him and let him work his magic. And I think that's kind of where his issue comes in with more than anything. Yeah. But I still think he should be starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, for me, I actually do think, Endon Burgers, I do think his fitness is a problem, to be honest with you. I really do, genuinely. I do think it's a problem. I think it's just a case of adapting because it wasn't so long ago he wasn't fit where Mourinho had to work with him. You've seen the classic one where they were running around the flats and stuff like that. I do think maybe next season, just give him this season in the Premier League, next season, I do think you will see the best of Ndombele. But for me, look, I definitely do think he's a baller. But I don't know what to be calling him lately, Endon Burgers or Endon Baller. I'm not sure because I'm not sure which one's going to turn up. But I love him anyway, regardless. And Wayne Bonner says Ledley's knees are better than Winks. Yeah, 100% they are. 100%, my man. And but look, we'll get on to the next question. Paxton and all lads, I know I told you an hour. I might have told you a little white lie. It probably will run over an hour. Are you okay?
It's fine, mate.
Oh, we're fine with that, mate.
Good. No, look, we're already at 45 minutes, but time flies when you're having fun. Isn't that right, lads?
Sure does.
We've been talking about Harry Winks, for God's sake. That's not much fun.
No, it's not Harry Winks. It's Harry Wanks, lads.
You'd enjoy the wank more than watching that cunt.
This is definitely after the watch. It's after 10 o'clock. We're all right. It's all right.
Man.
So Joe Roden is available for selection after being cup tied for the Carabao Cup final. Lads, do you bring Joe Roden back in for Moon Boots, or do you stick with the same back four? And Moon Boots is Eric Dyer.
Oh, boys.
Start with you, Shane.
You know what? I think, to be fair, and I've slated Eric Dyer for quite a lot this season because the guy's got some real problem in positioning himself for headers. Every single time a cross comes over, the ball sails over his head and he jumps up and he's missed it. His positioning sense is terrible. However, to be fair, he probably played his best game in that cup final I've seen him probably play all season. And because of that, maybe I think Mason's going to be a safe manager for the last 5 games. So I can see him playing both Dyer and Alderweireld. I don't think he's going to take a chance and put Rodon in. I'll be surprised if he does. I would love to see Rodon get a start, be honest with you, but I just think that he's going to have to wait till the new manager comes in to get his chance, personally. I just don't see him starting ahead of Dyer, because it's Mason's mate, isn't it? It's his mate.
Yeah. No, that's a fair observation, to be fair. But Mike, what do you think? Because for me, I actually think Rodon's probably been our best defender over the last little while. And I do think the only reason why he probably didn't play the City game is because he was cup type. But for me, when he plays, he seems to be everywhere. He's covering out left, he's covering out right, outright. He's mopping up everything. What do you think? Do you think he should play, or do you think we stick with the same back four? Because to be fair, apart from that calamitous idiot at right back, we've done well.
Yeah. It's a difficult one. Me personally, I would probably stick with that same back line against that we played against Man City, and that same back line would face Sheffield United, purely on the basis that I think Toby has to start the rest of the game, like the remaining 5 games, is it we got? He has to start every one of them, and Dyer. To be fair, I would say he's probably one of the best 3 players that we had against Man City. And purely on that basis, I'd probably start him against Sheffield United. I don't think he's better than Rodon. I think Rodon is our future, and I really do like him. I think he's going to be a great player if he continues the way he's progressing, and he's showing us that he can be that centre back that we all are looking for. It does remind me of just I suppose like a combination of between Toby and Jan Vertonghen. He can do it all, really. So yeah, I would start Dyer, but not on the basis that I think he's better than Rodon. I just think he had a good game against Man City, and I think to be fair to him, he should probably start against Sheffield United.
Yeah, that's fair. Big up Rob Coyne, new channel member. Everyone else, if you're jealous and you want that special little badge beside your name, all you have to do is click join. There's 3 tiers, green, white and gold. Grab whatever one you want. You're going to get that sexy badge beside your name. Obviously, the more you pay, the more perks you get. So it's up to you, whatever you want. And also, very super chat shy today. Don't be afraid to get them in and support your boy David. That's me, the Irish Hotspur. But Sean, what's your thoughts, man? Rodon in or Rodon out?
Rodon in. Look, I'm sorry, boys. I have to disagree with the Dyer fans out there. He had one good game. Anybody can have a good game, man. Anybody can have a good game. And when you have a mallet the size of his, of course, it's going to get in front of a couple of shots out there as well. To be fair. So I have to say, look, it's Rodon in all day. We need to get that space cadet our centre back. Send them fucking packing. Get rid of them. Out. Rodon in all day.
Yeah. No, look, every time the guy, touches the ball, Eric Dyer, he tries to challenge his inner Toby, and he just balloons the ball. So half the time you see Mason on the sideline with his phone whipping it out. Yeah, NASA, send that rocket up. We need the ball back. You know what I mean? He's just a disaster. But Darius, what do you think? Same back 4, bring Rodon back in.
I just want to say, what is it with our managers and these vested interest in their players? Why can't they just choose a team that's just the best team? If it's Jose, if it's not Jose with I don't like these players and I don't want to play them because they might prove me wrong and I wasn't playing them, then it's Ryan Mason with flipping Winks is my best mate and Dyer's my best mate. In my opinion, just play who your best team is.
Lord Livy.
It obviously has to be. It has
Lord
to be.
Levy.
Like it's one of those where quite clearly, Rodon is, if not our best centre-back, our second best centre-back behind Toby. Toby, I think, has good and bad games, but I think his air of calm, he brings that, and it makes Rodon a better centre-back because Rodon's not as good with Sanchez as a partner. We've seen that happen. Those two together, it's not Rodon's fault, but he just doesn't look as good with Sanchez. With Toby, he looks good. So for me, it's a no-brainer. And what I don't want to see, and this is what really, really annoyed me about Jose, is he kind of made us feel like certain players weren't good enough. Like he chose not to play Rodon. He chose not to put him in that Europa League squad. And we were all kind of like, why are you not playing him? We realized he's good enough. And it wasn't even the case that he wasn't good enough. It was the fact that all our other centre backs, like you said, we've got moon boots, we've got number 6 taking naps on the pitch, and we've got Toby who's literally like on his last legs. So why not? Why not play Rodon? I don't want the next manager to come in I don't want the next manager that comes in to kind of have these vested interests and not play players for certain reasons. You give everybody a clean slate. Certain players don't get a clean slate. Like I said, Winks, Sissoko, those guys, you're out. But certain players don't need to prove themselves, in my opinion. No, Dunblade doesn't need to prove himself. Rodon definitely doesn't need to prove himself. So I would keep Dyer and Alderweireld. Saying all that, I would keep Dyer and Alderweireld for this Sheffield game, just because they don't really deserve to be taken out of that partnership. It's worked well, kind of. They did well. But in the future, Rodon really has to be starting. He has to be that main guy, and then you find the people to play around him. I think Alderweireld has got one more year left in him. I think we need to probably make one centre-back signing this summer and then another big one probably the following summer. I don't think you're going to get 2 centre-backs this summer. So Rodon, for me, Rodon is the main guy in the defence, and then you build around him. And like you said, the right-back situation, that needs to get sorted out first anyway. So there's many other things that are problematic in this team, I would say, than our centre-backs.
100%. And just before we get Kieran's comments, Rob Coyne, new channel member, he says, Dave, you love the channel. You're well honest, and we're all in this together. That we are, my man. He says, I just joined. Do you think we need a season out of Europe to regroup? I'm not convinced by Rodon either. Rob, I do have that plan. I do have that question for the panel, so I will get onto it shortly, man. But look, let's ask Eric Dyer if he'll drop himself.
That was so cheap. That was so cheap.
I don't think there's a stream that I've been on this channel where I've not been called Eric Dyer. I'm a bit used to it by now. But look, to give credit where credit's due, I think Dyer had an alright game in the final, to be honest. But I think we need to bring Rodon in. I think realistically it should be Rodon and Toby. I don't think Rodon's the finished article by any means. I think he's got a long way to come, but I think that's why when you're playing the teams like Sheffield United, he's clearly good enough to be in that starting 11. Put him next to Toby, who's experienced and actually is a good centre-back who can actually bring him along in these types of games, so that he is ready for, next season or whenever it is. At least then he's developing. You can't just expect him to develop off the pitch. He needs game time. And realistically, is Sheffield United, the only way they are realistically going to do us damage is on the counter. And I don't really want Sanchez on the pitch. And do I think, the only thing that threatens us on that counter-attack is realistically Brewster is going to start with them, and he's got a little bit of pace. And Dyer and pace in the same sentence, I can't believe I just said those 2 words in the same sentence. Certainly, anyway. So really, and like we said, Toby's a little bit on his way out. I don't think he's not as fast as he was. So I think if you put in Rodon next to him, he can kind of sweep up anything that kind of comes in or anyone that passes past Toby. I think realistically that's who should be starting tomorrow. And I think that Rodon should be playing the remaining games, the season, and really getting this experience under his belt alongside like Toby,
100%. And Will Stewart's back in here as well, backing up his super chat. He says, if I was a 24-year-old pro and a 29-year-old under-18 manager took over, I would doubt his authority. And that's a fair point. You probably would. That is a fair point. So big yourself up, Will.
To be fair to that, David, though, because it's not just Ryan Mason, because everybody keeps saying it's just Ryan. He has got that team around him. He's got Ledley King, he's got Chris Powell, he's got Neil Gibbs. So I think if you look at it as a collective, Ryan Mason is going to be the one who's put out front and making all the decisions, the press conference. I just don't think it's him picking the team. I really don't. I think he either sits down with all of them and says, what do you think I should do, blah, 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 and talks around it, or Lord Levy comes down and says, I want you to play him, him, and him. That's the only thing I can think, because I don't think Ryan Mason is going to want to alienate players now, because it's not going to help the club, and he knows we're in turmoil, so why would you do something what Jose's already been doing for the last however many months he was at our club? I just think it's a case of, maybe he's been advised that you need to play certain players. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Anyone else want to add to that before we move on?
Yeah, you just look at all the managers that are out there now, all the top managers, they've played before. They've played in midfield roles. The majority of them have played in midfield roles or centre backs. They have the experience. They've played. They know the game. So who better to manage it than somebody that has played the game? and understands what way it should be played. I look, with what Will's saying, if you're 24, somebody who's 29 played before you, like, he obviously knows what he's at. He's played. He's in the same position that you were in, and he's had a step back, and now he's done a little bit of managing, which is more than what the players have done. So I'd give him a little bit of respect. I wouldn't just be like, oh, who's this guy? Fuck this. Do you know what I mean? You still have to earn your place. You still have to come out. You have to perform. I don't think it's a thing of, I'm not going to respect you. You should be willing to put everything out on the line every time you train and every time you play.
And I mean, as well. Sorry to interrupt. And on that, it's literally a case of you are playing for your positions. If you're thinking about just these last 5 games with Ryan Mason, you're not thinking straight as a Spurs player. You got to be thinking about next season and fighting for that place, especially if you're not in that team.
Not just that as well. You've got the Euros, haven't you?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You want to be playing for your country in that big tournament at the end of the season. So you want to, you just got to put that whole managerial issue beside, regardless of the age and stuff, and play for yourself and the team. Especially if you want to be representing your country at the end of the season. Otherwise, you can kiss that goodbye, can't you?
But just another thing to add on to that, it's one of those things like, yeah, look, there is it is a close age gap. You know, especially look, he's a young manager. But the thing is, he's coming as an interim. You know, and the players will know it's an interim at the moment. You know, the thing is, these remaining games, you're not only putting your foot forward for the Euros, you're putting yourself forward for that starting spot and the person who's regularly starting when it comes to the next manager. Because realistically, next manager is going to come in. Yes, they are going to kind of go through, you know, the squad in training sessions and things like that. But realistically, they're going to look at who's been playing as well. And you know, it's one of those things, like, you give someone respect until they've done something to not deserve that respect. It shouldn't be a thing of, he's only 4 years older than me, I'm not going to give him my respect. You know, it should be respect given to that person who's come in until the end of the season. You do your job and you play your football. Unless that person does something to, you know that earns your disrespect for whatever reasons, then you should be giving them a bit of respect.
Oh, you're right, Kieran, because at the end of the day, these players, I'm not being funny, but they should be able to go out there. Somebody just needs to be able to pick an 11 and let them go. They shouldn't really need a lot of tactical work to go out there, because they're 11 players that have played enough times and were playing against Sheffield United. I keep saying that. These players, you don't really need a lot of real tactical stuff to be playing this team. You know, it's about playing the game at a high intensity, going out and performing to the best of your ability. Make sure your teammates perform to the best of their ability and do your job. That's all you need to do. Do your job.
Yeah, 100%. And Jordan Stevens says, I agree, Mason is likely to be the scapegoat because he is the guy in the hot seat. By the way, I'm not in total defense of Mason. I don't think he's the guy we need. End of the day, he's the boss at the minute. 100% Jordan. Great comment there, my man. Everyone else, look, there's 147 people watching. I want to make sure there's 147 likes on the stream. Also, if you're new, make sure you do smash the subscribe channel. And also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in with your views, with your opinions. Let us know whether you agree with us, disagree with us, and also get your questions in for the panel as well. But lads, do you think we could see the return of Bale? Because he was benched for the cup final, which I was actually quite surprised about, to be honest with you. So do you think we'll see the return of Bale, Shane?
I would love to see the return of Bale, because to be fair, Mason, was he there with the club at the same time? Probably was. Yeah, obviously.
He was.
So again, he's a sort of he'd probably be looking up to someone like Gareth Bale. You know, he's a superstar in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not sure what happened. I don't believe that Ryan Mason was given the full reins to pick the team. I hope Bale plays tomorrow, because if Bale can't be up for playing the last few games, because at the end of the day, we don't know whether he's going to be coming back again for another loan spell. The likelihood is he probably won't. So he's got 5 games left. As a player who supposedly loves Spurs, if he gets an opportunity, do you think he's just going to go on a pitch and stroll around? I don't think he would. I think he's going to put in as much effort as he can, provided everybody else does. And that's what I sometimes think when you got the likes of Bale and Tanguy. They probably look around and think, oh, these players are not putting this in. Why do I have to do this? And I just want the attitude to be right for all of them, such that the bigger players, such as the Bales, such as the Sons, Tanguy, Kane, if he's fit, supposedly, that they just go out and just perform. Because if they perform, if any of those 2 or 3 players perform, we should be absolutely taking them to the cleaners, Sheffield United. Absolutely. Bell turns up and does what Bell does. It's done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and he's just
Yeah,
one
it
of the
should
front
be like
three.
watching Pornhub, shouldn't it, Shane? He doesn't want to answer. He doesn't want to get in trouble off the missus.
I'm not going to say nothing. I respect no comment. No comment. Like they did on Line of Duty. No comment.
I plead the fifth. Isn't that right, lad?
I was only going to ask you what Pornhub was, David. That's all.
Oh, you know. You definitely know. In fact, you probably should have used it with the amount of kids you're popping out, Sean, boy.
I know. I've already watched them all.
Look here, Mike. Carlos Blanco, he sent in the super chat. Big yourself up, Carlos Blanco. He says, do you believe Spurs can still get Rodgers?
No.
Did he say still get Rodgers or get Rodgers? Or,
do we believe Spurs can still get Rodgers?
Nah, I think that ship sailed, mate. Unless the only chance we may have is if Leicester, which they did do it last season, didn't they? Where they fell off towards the end of the season. If that happened this season and we got Champions League football over Leicester, then maybe there might be a very small chance that Rodgers might just turn around and be like, actually, I've changed my mind. I'll come to Tottenham. But I honestly can't see Leicester slipping up realistically. And Rodgers has got it good at Leicester. He's got a great team. It looks like he looks like he's very much sort of. He brings in the players that he wants. It looks like him and the I don't know who the head of recruitment is there, but that person's doing a grand job on the recruitment side. So Rodgers has got a well-oiled machine at the moment, and they're probably on the budget's probably worse than what it is at Spurs. So why would he rock that boat to come to Tottenham and deal with Levy and whoever it is behind the scenes that are sort of running the ship at Spurs? Why would you come into that sort of cesspit? It's borderline potentially career suicide, really. For
real.
For me, unless you're showing me, and you'd have to pay me. For me to run Tottenham, obviously I'd do it for free. But if I was in Rodgers' shoes, you'd have to pay double what Mourinho got, and that's not going to happen. So, I think that ship's fully sailed.
100%. 100%. Big up Carlos Blanco for the super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. And Sean, Will Stewart is saying, if I'm Ndombele and Mason picks Winks over me, I'd be like, what the fuck? Tanguy doesn't know Mason like the English lads. What do you make of that?
It's a fair comment.
Very fair point.
Absolutely. And you know what? He actually beat me to it, because when we were talking about it earlier on, I actually was going to say, if I was in Ndombele and I seen Winks picked ahead of me, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to play for you. Fuck that. You are literally playing that. That is what you are picking over me. Like, no way. I would be pissed, man. I will be pissed. I would be on to my agent. I'd be looking for transfers. I'd be wanting out of there. No way. I completely agree. I would be pissed, man.
Yeah, 100%. Darius, so back to Gareth Bale. Do you want him to play tomorrow? Or do you think, look, there's only 5 games left, give maybe Bergwijn the last 5 games because he's guaranteed to be here next season?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Sorry, big up Will Stewart for the super chat. My man, really do appreciate it, lad. You're a legend, the same as Carlos. Everyone else, feel free to get them in. Oh, speaking of, Will Stewart is back again.
Crazy.
Will Stewart is back again. Sean must have wound him up.
Look at Will, man. Yes, Will.
Big up, Will. He says, let me clarify. Mason takes Tanguy 4 weeks against, takes Tanguy off 4 weeks against Sheffield or Southampton. Tanguy looks pissed, then doesn't play in the final. We know Tanguy is a diva. Example, fallout with Jose. If he doesn't start tomorrow, I'm confident that's the issue. We'll go to Sam, or actually, which one of the panel would like to take Will's commentary?
Yeah, I don't mind. Look, I think his last comment, like I said, obviously, you give someone your respect, and and until they do something to kind of not have your respect anymore. I think I think it could be the case that maybe there's something that's gone on behind the scenes, which is why he didn't play in the final. I think when he came off against Southampton, for Winks, he's come off for Winks, but surely that's a thing with the final in mind. Maybe there's been a fallout after. We don't know. But yeah, look, if he doesn't play tomorrow, then surely there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, because you don't have Winks turning up and then literally receiving the ball and the only passes he's making is back to the goalkeeper or back to the centre-backs in that final. And then look at that and go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to play him again over someone like Tanguy, or playing Sissoko, who came on and basically killed the game for us when he came on. If you know what I mean, like if Mason's looking at that and going, they played well in the final and not playing Tanguy, then there is 100% got to be something going on, or something's being said behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, lads, like, we are all men, right? They are men out there playing football.
No, Winks isn't.
No, sorry, Dave. If you heard me, I said they are all men out there playing football. Winks does not play football. Right? So there's no need to worry about that. Don't worry. Right? So there should be none of this handbag shit. It shouldn't be a case of, I'm pissed off. Oh, he's pissed off because I took him off. I'm not playing him. You'd see that on a Sunday in Kilcullen, with the lads going ballistic and they're still half drunk, talking to the manager saying, you're going to stick me on. You see that stuff here, locally. You don't see that at a club like that. And grow up and get over yourself and play the best team to get the results and bring the club to the top. Cut out all the shit. You don't need that.
But if he doesn't start tomorrow, then he's not going to start for the rest of these games for the rest of the season. That's that's clear. And then if Tanguy doesn't start for the rest of the season, I think he's going to want to get off. I really do.
Get money for him.
If he doesn't start tomorrow, and he will choose not to play for the rest of the season.
Exactly.
It will be his decision not to play for the rest of the season if he's not starting tomorrow. And I completely agree with him. I would be the same.
Rightly so.
Big up Will Stewart. I actually think you actually have a very valid point there, Will. So big yourself up, my man. Now that it's explained like that, I actually do think there's potential to what you're saying, Will. So big yourself up for the super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. But Darius, I'm going to give a bit of a different question at you now instead of the Bale one. You can still answer the Bale one if you'd like. But Conor Lunsden says, do you think Hansi Flick will get the job?
Now, I don't know. I think that he's a good manager, but I put Hansi Flick in the same category as Zinedine Zidane. I think that when those guys joined the clubs that they were in, they have a history with them. They the infrastructure they were familiar with. Zidane came into that team, obviously being a Real Madrid legend. He basically had the best players in the world when he first joined, came back, and he's not got the best players now. And it's clear because he's not really performing very well. Hansi Flick came in, obviously. That team there, Niko Kovac, wasn't doing a great job, but that team there was a pretty much perfect team already. And he didn't have to do much. He tweaked the system and he made sure that he played to the strengths of those players. However, you can tweak a system all you like. When you've got a midfield of Kimmich and Goretzka, and you've got defenses of Davis and Sula, and you've got Neuer in goal, Lewandowski up front, Gnabry, Koeman. When you have these players, a lot of the time I kind of think, you don't really need that much of a system for it to work quite well. And I just worry if he was to come to Spurs, not having the infrastructure, not having the system, not having the perfect players that he's got for him, is he going to be able to produce that same sort of football that he did with Bayern? Muller was an incredibly, incredibly important part to that team. And Dele Alli has similar attributes to Muller, and he plays similar to Muller. I do think that player profile is the same, but quality-wise, Dele Alli is not even tying Muller's laces. There's no way Dele Alli is going to be able to put the output out that Muller's got. Muller's got 10 goals and 17 assists this season. I can't remember the last time Dele Alli was putting those sort of numbers out. So I'm not trying to say that Hansi Flick is not a good manager and wouldn't do a decent job at Spurs. I just think I hold reservations for him and Zidane particularly, because they came into teams that were very good and they were also part of that team already. He had a history with Bayern. He was the assistant. He was at Germany. He was the assistant. He had familiarities with all these players. So I don't know. I would personally avoid Hansi Flick. I think that Germany job's kind of destined for him. And then just slightly on the Bale thing, I think that Bale kind of has to start against Sheffield United. I think that he would provide I don't think Sheffield United are going to press. That's something I'm kind of guaranteeing. I don't think Sheffield United are going to press, and I think that Bale's going to have time to be able to do his thing and maybe take shots from range, maybe dribble at the players, maybe go at it, and I think that's perfect for him. The reason I don't think he played in that final was the same thing as Ndombele. When I saw Ndombele and Bale not starting together, I knew that there was a reason, and that was a reason for more defensive solidity in that final. That was obvious to me, so I can kind of understand Bale and Ndombele not starting together. That makes sense. If one of them didn't start, then I'd be like, that's suspect. But Bale and Ndombele, if they're not going to start in that final, they have to start against 20th place Sheffield United. That is 100%. It's not even debatable in my opinion. I think that those two will make a massive impact. And worst comes to worst, you bring them off. And like you said, David, we've got Bergwijn, we've got Lucas. There's players on that bench that should be able to make an impact off the bench. So I think it's a no-brainer. Bale and Ndombele should be starting 100%.
100%. And big up Will Stewart and Colin Lumsden for the super chats. Absolute legends and heroes. Anyone else? Feel free to get them in. You know, Will Stewart and Colin Lumsden, Wayne Bonner, Carlos Blanco, they all have. So why don't you? But Kieran, what do you think? Gareth Bale starts? No?
Yeah, I think he starts. If he doesn't start tomorrow, he's not going to start any of the remaining games this season. Surely, if you can't play him against, like we said, it feels mad that we're sitting here about Sheffield United asking whether we should be playing these players like Gareth Bale. It's like, it's Sheffield United. They're 20th place. They're already relegated. If you're not brave enough to play these players tomorrow, when are you going to be? Surely Bale's got to play tomorrow.
And Kieran, you said the game's only going to get tougher, aren't they, as well?
Yeah. It's literally, I think in order of the league, it's literally 20th place Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Villa, Leicester. You know what I mean? It's literally like stepping stones hard. It's like a game, level 1, level 2, level 3. It gets harder as you're going along.
The only thing I would say about the Leicester one, though, they've got a cup final to look forward to. So the last game of the season for us will be them. They won't be playing the same team that will play in that cup final, surely. So
I think they play the cup final. I think they play Chelsea actually in the semi-final before they play us. I don't know. I don't think they play the final. Actually. So yeah, maybe they'd preserve players for it. I think that's maybe all dependent on how the table is actually looking, though.
I think they're almost guaranteed now in terms of top 4 for Leicester. I pretty much.
Have you seen their running though?
Yeah, they're on 63 points. You know what I mean? Chelsea on 61 points. We will
get into the running shortly, lad.
Oh, sorry.
We will get into the running in a minute. I do want to ask everybody, what way do you think we'll set up? Will it be a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, or a 5-3-2 like we did earlier on in the season when we bet them? What do you think, Shane?
I don't think he's going to go for a 5 at the back. Why would you play 5 at the back against them? Let's be honest with you. I know we said it a number of times. It's got to be a 4 at the back. It's got to be attacking fullbacks. It'll be probably a 4-2-3-1. Hopefully, we'll have a double pivot, or at least one of the players will probably join in with that number 10. So you might just have, if it's Højbjerg who's going to be playing there, maybe him. So it could be transitioning into like a 4-1-2-3 sort of system. But again, as I said, I just think we've got to go for it. We've got to play to the strengths of the players that are going to be playing tomorrow. I don't want to see more defensive players than attacking players, and that's what I think that's what I think sometimes happened in our team. We've got to just go for this. Go for the jugular, score as many goals as we can. Let the players play. If you can't let them play against this lot tomorrow, when are you going to let them play? Because then you like saying the games are going to slightly get harder and harder on paper. So this is a good opportunity for Ryan Mason to do actually what he said he was going to do previously and just take the shackles off, which we didn't see against. We didn't really even see it against Southampton until the second half.
Yeah.
And we didn't see it
I think that's bad habits, though. I think that's Jose bad habits part.
It was, but like you said, if you...
You're still blaming Jose. He's not even here.
Oh, mate, exactly. I'm on him. I'm still on him. Until we get better, I'm on him.
I'll give the example. If you said to players, right, you can just do what you like. Most players will play like they were playing in the playground. If you say, do what you like, they'll go, well, I want to pick up the ball. None of the players did that. They still had this right, we're going to... So that couldn't have come from... That couldn't have come from them. It must be coming from the manager, right? We've got to play like this. So if you tell the players, like what Harry Redknapp used to do, go on, lads, go out and play. That's what they did.
100%. And just quickly, Sean Mitchell, my guy here, you didn't have to do that, Sean, but thank you so much, man. He says, get the memberships, get the super chats and likes in and support the Irish Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs. #HarrisArmy. Do exactly what Sean tells you to do. He's the guy. Big up Sean for the super chat, my man. But do exactly what he tells you to do. Look, I do fan shows for people, and the super chats, it is great for support as well. And why wouldn't you want to support this stream? It's been an absolute whopper of a stream. But Mike, what formation would you like to see tomorrow?
I would probably go with 4-2-3-1. Tried and trusted. The players seem to. I don't think there's much point. I mean, with Mason being in charge now, he hasn't really had much time to put his philosophy or his brand of football and stamp that on the team. There's just not been enough time for him to be able to do that. So, I would probably stick with what the players know, and I think the 4-2-3-1 formation is well known by the team, the players. They all seem to know what that formation is, and it does seem to work for us. So I'd probably stick with that. For me, it's a no-brainer. Stick to what, especially as Mason's interim, he won't have. I mean, with 5 games left of the season, me personally, I'd probably keep that same formation to the end of the season now. That's what I would do.
Yeah, 100%. Sean, and do you want to take Fernanda Costa's comment here?
Absolutely, Fernanda, you need to get on it. Stop that thinking, start acting. Get down.
If you think
in your membership, I want to see the gold membership. That's what I want to see. Get stuck in. He has absolute quality content week in, week out. Don't be shy.
If you're thinking about it, you may as well do it. If you think
That's
about
it.
you may as well just do it. You're like, the thing is, you're already half committed. You may as well go the full way. Don't be like Harry Winks, where you get the ball, you think about half the ball and half backwards. Actually commit. Do it.
No, look, it's like trying to get into them tight pants you have at home where you have to jump off the bed, 2 legs straight down. You know what I mean? Just do it. Just commit to it. Just commit. You know, you want to get back in them pants. You want to grab a membership. That's what I say. Sean, formation, man.
4-2-3-1 for me as well, Dave. Has to be. I think it kind of solidifies the midfield as well. Gives us good chances to spread the ball wide, especially if you've got Reggie out there. I know if Aurier's in, you know, he has that attack and threat to him as well. He can whip the ball in too. So no pressure. Pressure's for tires, Fernanda. Don't worry about it.
So Sean's going for
4-2-3-1 for me, man. 4-2-3-1. Yeah.
Brilliant, Darius.
I do agree. I think that 4 at the back would work. But I wouldn't be against 3 at the back though. I think if Harry Kane, I don't know if Harry Kane's going to start. I personally wouldn't start Harry Kane. I don't think he's fully fit, and I think that it could get worse over these few games. If he's not fully fit, I don't want to see Harry Kane get injured potentially, because he's going to want to play the Euros. So if we play him for these 5 games and then he plays in the Euros as a captain, he's going to get injured badly before the start of the season. Yeah. So I don't want to see Harry Kane start. If he did start, 3 at the back, I think could have worked, because I think that Harry Kane could have dropped in. If we played 3-4-3, Harry Kane could have dropped into that 10, made the 3 in the middle. And then obviously you've got width, and then those 2 wide players could have moved in. But 4 at the back's going to work. I think 4 at the back's the way to go. Ryan Mason doesn't seem like he's got too many tactical ideas. So I don't think that trying to match the opposition would make any sense. I think you play to your own strengths, don't you? So 4-3-3. Yeah, 4-3-3 is the one.
The thing with that as well, Darius, is he hasn't got time to implement anything that he wants from a tactical perspective. Time's not on his side. So, as I mentioned, I just think he needs to just stick to what the players know. They know the formation, they know the drill. I
don't want to see 3 at the back against them. No chance.
Why would you complicate things?
Nah.
Do you know what? Just Paxton, lads. Sorry, quickly. How many subscribers are you guys on?
135.
139.
Right, well, we're not ending off the stream until we get at least 160 subs for these guys. So there's 146 people watching. If you do want us to end the stream, you have to leave, go over, smash a subscribe on the Paxton Road TV, and then come back and finish watching it out. So make sure you get the subscribes. These boys are absolute brilliant. We're having jokes here today. I'm really enjoying this. Sorry for putting across you guys. Work away. Go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, it was just sorry, Kieran. I was just going to say the 4-3-3. It's just it's easier, isn't it? Like at the end of the day, we keep saying about this playing to the players' strengths and not making things harder for ourselves. 4-3-3 works. That's all I was going to say. It just makes life easier for us.
100%, Kieran.
Yeah, no, I think like it's funny because we're sitting here saying we don't think Mason has a lot of time to kind of implement his own kind of strategies and way he wants to play. But if you listen, he's already said that he's spoken to Pochettino. If you look at the Lloris interview, he said that he's already gone to the team about his philosophies, and there's a lot of similarities to it to Poch. I think that's why realistically we're probably going to see like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3 just being a similar version of a 4-2-3-1 shape. But I think maybe I don't think he does have enough time to implement his ideas. I think there's some players who were there with Poch. So maybe because he's a new manager, he hasn't managed before. Maybe he has the naivety to think maybe he does have enough time to implement it, and he might try.
What is it? My question I'll ask. Sorry, Mike. What the question I'll ask is what is it that we're expecting him to implement? What major changes does he have? Because I don't think there's any majge changes in these. All he has to do
over the line, isn't it?
It's just to get the players to play going forward as opposed to going backwards. That's what we've done. We played defensively. Counter-attack football is easy to coach. All you got to do is tell them to drop back and then go forward with the ball once we've got it.
Yeah.
To do what they were doing.
The only thing.
Sorry, all you got to do what we just got to do is just be on the front foot. So you press from the front. That's all we got to do. Press from the front, and everything else works off that. Win the ball higher up the pitch, more opportunities to score goals. If you win the ball lower down in a lower block, you have to then go all the way forward to then score. Win the ball higher up the pitch, more opportunities to score early doors. Simple.
But with that pressing game, Shane, you've got to be those players got to be fit as a fiddle, aren't they? And I don't think they're fit enough for that pressing game. They can do it, but I think we
just saw it against Man
City. You saw it against Man City. The pressing game.
You can't compensate that though.
The thing
unless you take Kane off because he's not fit, and if he wasn't fit, why is he playing that final? I mean, it just reeks of deja vu against that Liverpool Cup final. But
if you play pressing game properly, it's not about mad pressing all over the place. You set traps. So one player has to set the trap for the other players to come in behind. Once you set the trap, the press becomes easy because the player has to play in a certain direction. So if you can predict where they're going to play, it's easy to then. It's not about fitness and running all over the place. It's about setting the way you trap the players into that press. Once you get that right, everything comes from it. You see,
but then that comes with coaching, though, doesn't it? That comes with
they
coaching.
They can do it.
No, I understand you. They can do it, but efficiently is the word. Like if you're going to set up traps, you have to make sure that you're going to set them up correctly. Because as soon as one of those presses get bypassed, and you've got a massive gap between your defensive line and your midfield line, it's going to look worse. And I think that the issue with that is, I don't feel like all of those players are fully committed to do a press as a team, and I think that you'll have a few players like maybe Ndombele that might.
Being funny. If you've got a week between Sunday and Sunday, you could coach that in a week. There's no one on this planet Earth that can tell me I could coach that in a week, and I've coached that sort of stuff at that. The level I've coached that, you can get that done. These players are not players who are just thinking, hold on a minute, they're not to come off the school pitch. These are professional players. All you got to do is tactic board. You show these players how to do it, and they should be able to go out and do it. Three sessions it will take.
I agree, especially when you consider how many of the people in our team, mainly in our starting lineup, have played under Poch as well. They've already played that system, so it's just a case of going like.
We're giving too much excuses for these players. They haven't had time. Fuck the time. They should be doing this as a normal matter of course to press.
See, the thing is with these, you can coach the players all you want, but the players have to want to do it. And this is the problem at Tottenham. These players, whatever manager comes in, they'll do it for a couple of months, make everything look like it's rosy, and then all of a sudden the Twitter accounts start popping back up with little things. You have Eric Dyer in the press. I want my ashes scattered across White Hart Lane. Like, what has the guy done to even come out with a statement like that?
I don't even know why he said that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
The thing is, and also just touching on Shane's point, right? There's still got to be an element of fitness in it because you're changing from defending from a low block to defending to a high block, and that to do that for 90 minutes, I just think that. If they were going to do that, they should have done it from the early in the season. But it's just the fitness levels. I just don't. Who in that midfield are you going to get? You're not going to get Bale pressing. You're not going to get Lo Celso pressing.
So if you go from a low block into a counter attack, you're further back, so you've got further to go. in terms of the counter attack. Because when you counter attack, you've got to counter attack from the back. So you need more fitness to actually do that type of play than you do if you press from the front. Because if you press from the front, you've got yards to go to goal. If you press from the midfield, you've got yards to go. If you're pressing from a low block, you've got all the pitch to get up. So all the players have to then bomb up the pitch. And that's why you have more fitness needed to play a low counter-attacking style. That's why the better teams, if they organise themselves, City do it perfectly well because they press from the front. They don't have to be super, super fit. They just have to be organised and make sure they play the game from that area. That's why they do what they do. Liverpool is exactly the same. You press from a lower block, it's even harder to score goals because you've got to go all the way up the pitch and everybody's got to bomb up the pitch.
I just want to get in Rob C's super chat here. It's been in here for a couple of minutes and I say it's itching for me to read it out. He says, bit off topic, but we'll give this one to Kieran. Bit off topic, but apparently Hitchin is leading the search for a new manager according to a few papers. I expect Steve Hitchin hates manager searches as much as he does transfer windows. So we're properly fucked. And I think he's referring to, obviously, Steve Hitchin saying that he doesn't like the transfer window and that he went out to Milan for Fashion Week instead of to get Skriniar. What do you think, Kieran?
Absolute fraud, mate.
You start me on a hitch out.
Where the fuck do you start with this one? Like, Steve Hitchin is another one, right? We're all claiming Levy out, but fuck me, we need to get Hitchin out as well.
Tell him again.
Like, seriously. This guy's fucking criminal. How the fuck has he managed to get a job managing our transfers? Like, he hasn't got like a massive CV going back in the past of signing these great players or anything. And he's managing one of these teams that, you know, a few years back, like under Poch, we're consistently getting Champions League. Like, why is this guy in charge of our transfers? And then to think, yeah, you know what? This guy's done really good for us in the transfer window. Let's let him be in charge of appointing our next fucking manager. Are you for real?
It doesn't even sound real, mate. It honestly doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound real.
I don't think it is, because otherwise the people on the board are smoking some serious like drugs. Seriously, they're smoking some real strong stuff. If that's true, I can't imagine that's true. I'd say. Yeah.
And his name's not Hitchin, it's Hitch Out.
Hitch out.
Hitch out, lads.
100%. But big up Rob C for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. You absolute legend. You're so kind and thank you so much. And then we have Wayne Bonner in here with a nice little joke. He says, Dyer can't scatter a pass, let alone his afterwards. Big up Wayne. Wayne the comedian. I absolutely love this guy, man. He's brilliant. So big yourself and Rob C up. I really do appreciate the super chat. I don't know how much it means. And anyone else, feel free to get your super chats in. But lads, where are we now? So we're a bit all over the place here. So 1 second now. Yeah, so look, we're going to just quickly, Sheffield United, they are missing Chris Basham, Ollie McBurney, Billy Sharp, Jack O'Connell. They're all out, but they are expecting Sander Berg to return. Oh. And we'll get everyone's thoughts on the panel on this one as well. Shane, Sander Berg is a player that has been heavily linked with Tottenham. Would you take on that, Spurs?
I don't know much about him, to be honest. I've not watched a lot of Sheffield, to be honest, so I don't know. I think I'll take anybody at the moment. I think I'll take anybody at the moment.
Anyone over Harry Stinks, isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. It must be an upgrade. We've got. I think we've got to be creative in the market. I think that's going to be definitely what's going to happen in this transfer window. We are not going to go out and splash oodles and oodles of cash. So if you've got a player that's available from a team that's gone down already and you can get him on the cheap, then I would do it. If he's going to be an upgrade on Harry Stinks, I'll definitely 100%. So I think the answer to that is yes.
100%. The Hustler, how about you, man?
He's a centre midfielder, isn't he? Or he certainly plays midfield. Is he centre midfield?
Yeah, he's like
centre midfielder. Yeah. He's an absolute unit.
He's a unit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would take him and I'd get rid of number 17. There's no one in the Premier League that I would probably not take over number 17. So I haven't seen too much of him against us. In the Premier League. I haven't seen too much of him play for Sheffield United. But I do know he's a centre midfielder, and I do know he is a big old unit. But he's got to be an upgrade on Sissoko. So yeah, I'll take the gamble. Even if I don't know much about him, I'd certainly take the gamble and yeah, get rid of number 17 and bring him in.
Yeah, 100%. Mitch, what do you know on Sander Berg?
Very little. Look at who he's playing for. Look at where they are. You need to be realistic about that. Where we want to be, where we need to go, and I think throwing the fishing rod down the hole is not really going to get you where you want to be. I feel like we need to be reaching a little bit higher, man. You know, for the top shelf whiskey, that's where we need to be going for. We don't need to be going for the little minnows. We need to be getting in the big guns.
We need to be listening to a bit of S Club 7, lad. Reach for the stars. That's what they say. But Darius, yourself, Sander Berg.
I actually really like Sander Berg. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he was linked with bigger clubs before. When he was at Genk and Sheffield bought him for like 21 million. I was surprised that they actually got him because he was linked with other teams. And the way I describe him is like Thomas Souček without the actual goal scoring ability. And he's a unit, but the guy can move and he's got good feet and he can play a pass. And I think that, like we've always said, he's an upgrade on Sissoko or number 17. And honestly, I think that he could provide something quite different to our team. I think that him and Højbjerg, if you wanted to play a proper defensive team, him and Højbjerg, you wouldn't be able to get past those two, in my opinion. I think that would be...
Darius, do you think he's better than Bissouma?
No, that's one player I don't think he's better than. I would rather Bissouma over Sander Berg.
So then I'd rather have him and I wouldn't bother with Sander Berg then.
I think Bissouma is much better than Sander Berg, but in terms of a relegated player who you're going to get for maybe if let's say they pay 21 million and they've got relegated, you pay the same price for him. I wouldn't be against 20 million for Sander Berg, especially if you make a few sales. Like I said, if you get 20 million for Winks and you can replace him with, I personally, I think he would fit the Premier League. I think he would be okay. So, and personally,
coming back though, Darius, that's the problem.
No,
so
yeah.
Why would you spend that money on a midfielder that we've got a midfielder that we're bringing back? We need to spend that on centre defence.
Yeah, no. Like this is hypothetical. Obviously, if he was linked, I wouldn't be against him. Skip coming back, yeah, that's 100% a fair point. I think I would rather see Skip get those minutes instead of Sander Berg, but in terms of if we were offered him and when we had the chance, I wouldn't be mad because, like I said, in terms of our midfield, there's three I can tell you off the top of my head that I would rather not see. I'd rather see Sander Berg than three of the players I can name off the top of my head. So for me, that in that sense is a no-brainer. But like you said, Sam, with Skip coming back and with obvious that right back position for me is number one in the summer. I don't even think centre back or striker or backup striker. I think that right back position is number one for us. So I think going for that is more important than Sander Berg. But he's a good player. He's definitely a good player.
Yeah, 100%. And Sean just had to go there, lads. I think one of the kids is after. I think we're after waking up one of his kids. But no, I'm only messing. But Kieran, Sander Berg, do you know much about this guy? And do you want him at Tottenham?
Yeah, like I've watched Sheffield United a few times, especially last season. When he was playing. I mean, last season he should have gone on sex offenders list after he played against us because he touched us up when they beat us 3-1.
Did he score against us? Was it him who scored?
He did score against us, and he literally controlled the game when we played them when they beat us last season.
I don't know what we're doing on this stream today. What is going on?
But to be honest, genuinely, I think, like you said, I don't think he's better than Bissouma. But to be honest, I don't think Højbjerg can play every single game of the season, and I don't think Burgess is a finished article either. But I think he's definitely one. I think he's like 22, 23 at the moment. He's definitely one who has potential. He's linked to Liverpool, I think, at the moment, and he was linked to Liverpool before he went to Sheffield. You know, like I genuinely think he's big, he's strong, he can play a pass. I think he's probably one of those players that isn't going to be a first team starter or anything, but if we could get him a little bit more on the cheap because Sheffield United are going down, I'd definitely pick him up because I'd definitely take him over Sissoko, definitely take him over Winks. And Ali at the moment, he's not getting near the squad under Mourinho. He's not getting near the squad under Mason realistically, or hasn't been. Well, actually, he played in the final, but he shouldn't be. I would take him over those three at the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and just quickly screwing the tune a big up, Si. I hope you're keeping well, my man. Haven't seen you in a while, so I hope all is good. He says, the Irish Hotspur, are you coming for the 15th? Let me know, brother. Be good to see you. Hope you are well. Look, yeah, hopefully we are Tottenham TV need another bit of work done so I can try and get over. You never know, lad. We'll see what the Irish Hotspur can do. And Rob Coyne says, Tottenham Irish Mayo fan, Davy. We're the Mayo of the Premier League. Yeah, we probably are always the nearly men. That's what Mayo are, you know. But look, I actually think Mayo. I enjoy watching Mayo play the GAA, lad. You know, if like with Kildare, we're getting knocked out all the time. You know, Mayo will be my team. I always like to see win it. So big yourself up, Rob Coyne. Absolutely appreciate the super chat. And the other Rob C as well. Absolute legends, guys. Absolute legends. For me, look with Sheffield United going down, you probably will get Sander Berg for about 15 million, I'd say, which he would be a good asset. Is it where we need to strengthen right now? Probably not. You have Skip coming back in the summer. Yeah. But I do like Sander Berg. He is a guy that I have my eye on before Sheffield United bought him. I think there's a lot of potential. He's an absolute unit. He's a good shot on him. And he's a very good passer of the ball. But look, it remains to be seen. We'll wait and see what happens with that one. But look, lads, of course, we're sitting in 7th to play 33 games. 115, drawn 8, lost 10. We're sitting on 53 points. We are 10 points off Leicester as it stands. Obviously, we have our game tomorrow that we need to win. We can bring it back to 7. And their next 3 games before they play us is Chelsea, United, and Chelsea, United. They have Newcastle and then us as well. And there's one more big team in there as well. I think it could be City. But lads,
I'll tell you in a minute. Go on,
yeah,
keep going.
That'd be brilliant. But do you think we can actually still make top 4? Especially with Chelsea winning again today. They're now on 61 points, but they still have Leicester, City, and Arsenal left to play as well. So can we catch the two of them, or is top 4 over and done with now? Am I just sitting here dreaming?
If you still think top 4 is a thing, then you're either saying it's mathematically possible or you are overly positive, because I think that the players even think it's done. I don't want to be that kind of guy, but actually, who are we getting above? West Ham even. I don't even see us getting above West Ham. I can't. And this is the thing with Tottenham. If I get myself excited and I get myself gassed and I think that there's a possibility, they will shoot you down in the quickest and most painful way. So I'm not going to get myself hyped up. I want those boys to literally, such a cliche, take the games as they go. And if you end up winning 5 games in a row and all the other teams around you stumble and we end up getting into that top 4 somehow, then great. But thinking about top 4 for me isn't the way to go. I don't think we have a chance. I don't even think we're first, second, or third favorite. So if we stumble upon it, if we just focus on each game and win each game and we actually stumble upon it, great. But I don't think we've got a chance, honestly.
So Leicester's next games are Newcastle home, Man United away, Chelsea in the cup final, then Chelsea away, then us last game of the season. Wow.
So Sam, do you think you can take it down to last game?
No. I don't think we can, because we've got to win all our games. That's the problem. Yeah. We've got to win all our games. They can afford to lose 2 and still draw 1, and you know what I mean? So I just can't see it.
That's the thing. It's like mathematically possible. Yeah, mathematically possible. Chelsea have got the hardest run, but even if you look past Chelsea, you still got Liverpool, who the hardest game, or like the most contestable game they have, is like Man United.
Yeah.
And I think West Ham, you look at all of their games and you go, like, if West Ham aren't beating them, like they've had a stinker. Especially with the form they're in. I reckon if Chelsea drop points, I still reckon that West Ham will pick them up, and they're 2 points ahead of us at the moment. I reckon they win the rest of their games. So even if we do win all of ours, I don't think we will get top 4, because there's teams above us that will still have more points come the end of the season.
And it's only our fault. That's the thing. It's only our fault. We can only blame ourselves. Because think about it. Yeah. All of those drop points, all of those horrible performances, those 1-0s, the 3-0 at West Ham, we look back at it and we obviously thought, yeah, this is a nightmare. But you're going to look back at it, and especially if it's like a couple points, 2 points, 3 points, we're going to look back at that and think, what on earth was going on? And I'll beat myself up about it, but why should I? Because I had nothing to do with that. But we'll look back at that, and it will be regret, because how on earth are we still in a top 4 race? How on earth are we still in a top 4 race? It's crazy to me. It shows that all the teams around us haven't been great.
I think that like you just said, I think that shows the whole season. I think like the big thing as well is when you, like you say, you look at all these, like the 1-1 draw to Newcastle, like points we've dropped to like Brighton. It's like all those points you look back at now and you just think like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the games you've got left are very winnable. And that's the positive you've got to look at is even Leicester's a winnable game if we turn up and actually play. But we've got to have a fighting chance. You have to win. We have to win those games. There's if you get a draw, it's not good enough. The moment we drop points, that's it. Game over. In fact, if that does happen, the best thing that Mason can do is probably bleed some of these youngsters. Like I think is it Dennis Sirkin. Give him a go at left back. Like Scarlett, give him a go up top. Divine, give him a go in midfield. You might as well just give them some of these youngsters and bleed them into the first team and see what they're about. You've got nothing to lose, have you?
No, nothing at all, to be fair.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the rest of our games are winnable. I just brought up West Ham's because I forgot who they had, but they have Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom. Then last game of the season is Southampton.
They should win all them, to be fair.
Yeah, they should finish all them. Maybe they'll drop a point against Everton. But Southampton, earlier on in the season, maybe they would have dropped points, but now I don't see them dropping points there. So I think, you can give the youth players as well. I think Dane Scarlett's actually injured at the moment, isn't he? He picked up a knock.
He did pick up something. Yeah, I did see.
But
he played for the under 18s there, just yesterday or the day before.
All right, okay. So so obviously he's back.
Maybe he's come back then.
Because I did see before the cup final that he didn't play for the under 23s or any of the youth teams. So I thought, all right, okay, maybe he's in the squad, but then I realised he had an injury. But again, he's one of those players, like you said, they're not ready yet. They're still in the youth team, but why not give him a chance? I think Dane Scarlett, the one game that just sticks with me about him is when he came on in Europa League, and he literally had 9 minutes on the pitch, but he literally chased down everything. And because he chased down everything, he literally got himself an assist with being on the pitch in 9 minutes.
And it was something as small as that one little press that he did, and we all of us on Paxton said that in the reaction. I remember that distinctly. We all said the way he pressed was intelligent, and that just that small little bit that we got from him. I really, really do think that he could probably be in that first team by 18, like really a big part of the team by 18. He could be the backup striker.
Someone made that point though about playing youngsters and about the differences between maybe 5th, 6th in the Premier League could be a few million or whatever it is. So that's why they tend to not play the youngsters, because every position counts in terms of finance. Money, and I guess in this season that we're, COVID and all the rest of it, money's going to really be a big thing. So,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, Dane Scarlett did play. He played. He should be back in contention. Maybe not for this game; it's probably too soon. But for the last 4 games, even to bring him onto the bench, because he did play in the 3 we lost to the Baggies in the under 18s and in the cup. But look, lads, last question for the panel before we give you a chance to plug your socials and that is: do you want Champions League next year, or not Champions League? Sorry, Europa League. Do you want Europa League next year, or would you rather come out of it for a season and get this situation sorted out? And we'll start with Shane again.
You know what? If we get things sorted out in terms of a manager that's of a decent level, and we do get a couple of players in, being in the Europa League won't be too bad, because I still think, even with the squad that we've got, we were capable of winning that Europa League. So if you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League. So we can almost use that as what Jose was trying to do. I still think it's important to play in Europe, just for the fact that, we've got this big old stadium to play for. We've got a lot of players in our squad anyway. So we need to be able to play some of these youngsters, and some of the early rounds of the Europa allows us to do that. And if we take all games seriously, we could have a lot of games to play next season. And I still think that, although we're going through a whole lot of mess now, if we get a little bit right in the summer by getting the right manager and getting, a few players back off loan, and maybe 1 or 2 players, and getting players back playing, it might be beneficial to play in that Europa League. So yes, I'd rather play in it than not, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. And look, while we get everyone's thoughts on the last question of the show, why not get your super chats in? Let us know what you thought of the show. or even if you just want to donate because you appreciate the stream, it'd be a great help for the Irish Hotspur and to take this channel to the very top. Massive plans next season, and the super chats really do help me carry them all out. And just quickly, Sean O'Neill says, "Oh, sorry, I'm late, Dave, bro. Going to watch now from the start. Big up, my brother. Oh, big yourself up, Sean. I hope Paul is keeping well, man. Give me a ring later on if you want, man. But Mike, what's your thoughts? Europa League next season, or do you not want to?
It has to be Europa League for me. If we can't get Champions League, then why wouldn't we want the next best competition in Europe? And we can't really afford to turn our noses up at any European football because
for real.
the financials.
I didn't even take this shit. The conference league.
The conference league. Bloody hell. I wonder what that theme song's going to sound like.
God, yeah. But we have to have European football. Even if we don't want to take it seriously, it's a chance to sort of check out whether it's the wider squad or even the youth. There's chances there that players who might not play in the Premier League week in, week out, they can sort of show themselves in that competition. And let's be honest, that Zagreb game is still haunts us all. But for whatever reason, us losing, if we had shut up shop and done what we need to do to get by, we potentially would be in a semi-final, which is easy. We could have been in it. So I can't see us turning our noses up at that opportunity.
Daniel Levy won't allow that. No
chance. He won't. Nah, no chance. So for me, we have to go for Europa if we've got the chance. Because I still think the teams above us, they're going to drop points. They're not going to all win every game left of the season. The teams around them are going to drop points, and if we continue and hopefully pick up the points that we need, you never know what can happen. So I'm very much of a if it's Europa League again, so be it. It's more football, so go for it.
100%, yes. It's more football, more content for us, the guys. Putting out next season, so 100% I'd be taking it.
Exactly.
Connor69 says, "I'll donate soon. I promise. Just can't right now." No, look, man. Don't ever feel under pressure. I understand. And not everybody's in a position to do that. People live week to week. Sometimes, after the last 2 days a week, people are scrounging around for the basics. I fully get that, Connor, my man. Don't feel pressured. Never do. Colin Lumsden, we give this one to you, Darius, and get your thoughts as well on the Europa League. Says if we had signed all the players we have been linked with in the last few years, we'd be right up there with City.
I think you probably say that for a lot of teams, to be honest. But it probably does look a lot worse for us when you think about some of the names that we were linked with and some of the bids that we were putting in for those players. It is a bit shambolic, but the whole hypothetical hindsight thing, I don't like thinking about it like that, because you're going to get, if you think every single summer you get linked with a bunch of players and we're all thinking about these players, and you're not going to get any of them really and truly. You'll probably get one or two. So I just think looking at the players that we could have got, it's going to make you feel worse. You're going to get angrier, and there's nothing you can do about that. So I wouldn't even let that affect me. Jack Grealish comes and goes. It's unlucky. It's unfortunate. You just have to find the next one. That's the thing. And there's always going to be next ones. That's the issue. Football players are constantly being pushed out of these academies. So I just think that the next one will come, and hopefully, like I said, if you have the right infrastructure, you find these players. But with Hitch out in our flipping dealing with our transfers, we're not going to get that. So, but no, I just think that we that Europa League is. There's no excuse not to be in there. I don't see the whole thing about not wanting to be in Europa League and giving it a break, because, like you said, Mike, and you put it perfectly, mate. If we had actually done our job and won that game against Zagreb, I believe personally. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to do it. But I do believe that the likes of Villarreal, the likes of Roma, the likes of Slavia Prague, I believe we can deal with these teams, and on a game basis, it takes a bit of luck. It takes a bit of luck, and I just think that you never know what could have happened. We could have ended up with Europa League, and we could have been in the Champions League. And I think that our team is good enough to where if we were to, unlike Arsenal, if Arsenal win this Europa League this season, I think there'll be a bit of a trouble in that Champions League, because I think their squad is way far from even being in that Champions League. I think that we could actually put up a decent decent fight in the Champions League. And I just think it's not. It doesn't make any sense trying to snub your nose, 1 at a trophy, 2 at potential to be in the Champions League, and 3 to really give players, like you said, a chance to play in Europe. And it's the quality of the Europa League is pretty high. I'm not going to lie. You've got teams dropping in from the Champions League. So it's a good competition to win. I mean, Man U take it seriously. Atleti have taken it seriously. Sevilla in the past, Liverpool.
Because of the prize.
These are big teams. These are big teams winning it.
Do you know what the thing is as well? Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
No, go on. I'm finished.
All right, yeah. Sorry. Go on,
yeah, just quickly, thanks to Colin Lunsden for the super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. Sorry, go on, Kira.
The thing is as well, I want us to get Europe. Like you said, we can't turn up. Like, how long have we gone without a trophy? You know, 100%. We can't turn up our nose at any trophies. 2, it's European football. And the thing that European football does do is it will get you some players in the door. If you're not even in the Europa League, for God's sake, you know, you're not going to get any players of decent quality looking at you going like...
And we don't have clout either, do we? We're not like a Man U or an Arsenal or a Liverpool.
And who are we to turn up a competition?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think if you look at us, we've gone from Champions League final to only getting into the Europa League through qualifying stages. God. So then if we didn't get Europa League, you know, some players would kind of look at that like, I'm going to look at my other options. We want to be in those European competitions because, yes, Daniel Levy might not be spending, or the club might not be spending the money on actual player transfer fees, but the thing is that money will still go to players' wages and getting some of those players through the door in that sense. And the thing is, we need to bring some players in to replace others and we can say, look, we're going to sell some players, but the thing is you need buyers to sell those players. And the thing that Europa League does is it gives us a little bit of money that if we can't get some of these people out the door, at least we might have a little bit of something that we'll spend, but, you know, knowing Daniel Levy, I don't know.
That's the thing. Like I said, the 11 isn't that bad, is it? Like you said, it's maybe the squad players need to be improved slightly, and you never know. With a better squad, you could be able to do a lot more better. If you don't have to bring on Sissoko and Winks, and you can bring on 2 players that are better than that significantly changes your outcome of that season.
With the right manager.
And the right manager as well.
Right manager with those players, our fortunes could have been very different. I mean, we wouldn't be playing that style of football that we have done this season for starters. So... And when you look at us from an attacking perspective, there's not many teams that we can't score against. It's just 100%. The fact that we've not been set up correctly, or there's been the odd player that's come. I mean, we all know as fans, when we see number 17 or Winks come into the side, or bloody Moon Boots is at centre back, or number 6 is centre back, we as fans know that choice is not the correct one. I mean, if we can see it, and none of us are in that hot seat, why the manager can't see that? It's just beyond me. But with the right manager, I think, and we played the brand of football that Tottenham are used to, i.e., we play that attacking football that we're all used to seeing over the years. We control the games more so than what we have done this season. We don't just set up or have ourselves set up for the counter attack. I mean, there is occasions when you're going to just have to be like, right, we're going to have to set up here for the counter attack and see what happens, type of thing. Those type of games will come at some point throughout the season. That's a given. But I just think if we had that right manager with the right philosophy, and we had that, we started playing that brand of football that he's trying to implement, I think we could have been in a completely different situation this season.
Yeah, don't get it wrong. Remember at the beginning of the season, we all, not everybody, but a lot of us looked at the squad and said, that squad's good enough to be at least challenging. And don't forget, in November, we were top of the league at some point. Do you know what I'm saying? So where it's gone from there to now has obviously it's just tanked. But we can see now that there are certain players that need to be moved on. It's whether they can get moved on, who's going to take them up, and then what we do in terms of bringing players in and the manager. But I just think if we're in that competition and we do get a little bit more organisation and a little bit more bit of luck as well, I think we could do well in it. I just really think we can do well. Yeah,
100%. But look, lads, we are going to end it there. It's been an absolute brilliant stream. But before we do, how much subscribers are you on?
I was going to say, we're on 148. So everybody watching,
really everybody,
good. If we could get 2 more to get 150 before the end of the night, that would be superb.
No, Sam, no. We want 12 more.
12 more.
12 more. We set a
You're the
target of
man.
160.
You're the man.
Right, I'm not ending this stream. I will just sit here and stare at the camera all night if I have to until we get
I'm going to sleep.
Right, 12 more people. We have 144 watching. I want to see this go down by 12. Everyone, the link, and you don't even have to type it in on YouTube. The best thing is, it's in the description below. So all you have to do is get on it and smash the like button and smash the subscribe button. So all we need is 12. But lads, we're going to give every single one of you a chance to go.
We've got 154. We've got 154. We need 6
Come
more.
on. Come on, 6 more.
Absolutely.
You're the man, David.
We
You're
need
the man.
4 more. We need 4 more. 4 more.
Come on.
Okay.
Shane, why don't you tell these guys why they should be subscribing to Paxton?
Right. We've got guests on there like David, Irish Hotspur themselves, and we've got Matt Hayes. These two guys from Ireland, they're doing big bits. They'll be on a show with us on Thursday, so make sure you watch because these guys are fantastic. As you can see, entertainment is always going to be the key for us, and we do loads of stuff. We do preview shows, we do reaction shows. Myself, Mike, Darius are always the resident guests on there. We've got loads of people coming through. We really want you to keep watching and keep subscribing and keep joining on stuff like this as well. It's not just us. We want this whole community to grow, and it's doing so well. So it's fantastic to get on these sort of things and really plug us and obviously Irish Hotspur. So keep doing that. What are we on now? Have we done it?
I think
Have
that's
we done
160
it?
if you can see.
161. We've done 161.
161.
Right, come on, let's get to 170 before we end off. Let's get to 170.
Round of applause.
No, but Mike, what has Shane missed out there? What more did he need to know about Paxton Raw TV?
Mate, I think to be fair, I think he's pretty much covered it. To be honest, we do previews, we do match reviews, or should I say match reactions. We do have special guests like yourself, David, like Matt Hayes. We have the Tottenham away guys, and we do occasionally have the ex-Spurs footballers come onto the show where we do special sort of interviews with them. So yeah, and we're like you, David. We're down to earth. We're good guys. We can have a crack. We talk some serious football. Yeah.
Have some fun.
Darius has got a little bit. Darius, he might announce a new show that he's got coming up if he wants to plug that. Come on, man, do it.
Maybe
you got time to shine, baby. Take the chance.
You might on Monday see a new show that might have me as a host. Maybe, you never know. And I suggest you have a look for that Monday. It'll be play reviews, play ratings. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I had Paxton Road player review in my head, but we don't know yet. But I will be hosting that show, and then also I'm gonna plug my Twitter as well because I just chat shit on Twitter and I need more people to see me chat shit. So Darius 3K is my Twitter. Just see me talk shit, and that's all I'm gonna say. Tune into Paxton Road, and also if you want to subscribe to Irish Hotspur and you're watching him, then subscribe to him as well. Like, what are you doing? Watching him and not subscribed? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
No, look, too kind. But honestly, lads, if everyone has actually enjoyed this show, which I thoroughly enjoyed it, I think we've given you good in-depth analysis mixed in with a bit of comedy. I think it's been absolutely fantastic. These guys have certainly played their part and added to it. You know what I mean? And they're only going to get bigger and bigger. So why not be one of the ones to say, we followed you from when you first started. You still have time. AB Troops, he wants 200. He's being ambitious. He's more ambitious than me. He wants 200. So why not get to? You have a chance to get to 200 when we let Kieran plug himself. Kieran.
Right, I don't have a YouTube channel at the moment. I will soon, but my Twitter handle is @lets_talkspurs. It was up on the screen a second ago. And yeah, look, follow everyone else. Go check out their channels. The stream's gone on for around 2 hours now. So if you've sat through 2 hours, you obviously enjoyed what you've heard. So go follow everyone on this panel. Like, seriously, I didn't know, you guys, Paxton, or anyone before I came on this stream. And I've gone and followed everyone. Like, if you can sit here for 2 hours and listen to everyone, obviously you've enjoyed what you've said. Go follow everyone on Twitter. Go follow everyone on YouTube. Subscribe to people on YouTube because obviously you've enjoyed the content. And yeah.
No, look, if Shane's hustle today doesn't get subscribers, I don't know what will. This guy is, I think, sat through now, about 5.5 hours of just talking pure depression about Spurs.
About Spurs as well, not even anything else, just Spurs. Oh.
Fair play to him. Fair play to him. I don't know how he does it, but that's definitely worth subscribers.
It's been hard today, 5 hours, and then we had our own show this morning as well, so it's almost close to 6 hours worth of Tottenham stuff.
Look, I think it's my fault because I did tell Michael a little white lie. I said an hour. It's gone well over an hour. It's gone 2 hours. It's double that. So I really do appreciate your time, boys. But quickly, Colin Lumsden says, our players couldn't handle all games this season. The squad needs to be deeper so that the likes of Højbjerg can have a break. No, 100%, Colin. I fully agree with you, my man, and I really do appreciate the super chat. And guys, Kieran's Twitter handle is in the description below as well, along with all the other Sean Mitchell's Twitter handle and stuff. If you want to get in contact with these guys and get them on the channel, they really do add to the stream as well. So make sure you get over and follow them on Twitter. But lads, just quickly before I do the outro, how many subscribers did we end up on for Paxton?
Oh, let's have a look. Hold on. I'm just stalling here, so we might be able to get 1 or 2 more.
I see 163. I see 163, which is amazing.
163.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Look, there's 115 here. I want to see 7 more go right now.
Oh, man, come on.
Subscribe. 6 hours of Spurs content. This guy is sat through today.
And I was just about to say, there's a reason why he started this YouTube stuff after he was bald. Because if he didn't, he would lose the hair during it. I'm telling you now.
It's like proper work.
Look, lads, to drag it out for a few minutes. Let's get score predictions, Shane. I want 170. I'm not leaving till we get 170. I'm ambitious. Shane, let's get score predictions, man.
I'm going to take a bit of water. Oh, blimey. Right, so I'm going to still go with what I said earlier in my own stream when we did with Mike and Darius earlier. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. I don't think we're going to just blow them away. I'd like us to do that, but I think just because of the fact that there's a bit of pressure on, Mason obviously having to decide the team, I think it's going to be a not scrappy 1-0. I hope it's a well-constructed 1-0, but I don't see a lot of goals in it. 1-0 Spurs. That's what I'm going for.
Love it. Just quickly,
1-0.
Before we get Mike, ATX7 Gaming, the show is getting better and better. Keep up the grind. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it. Thank you. And the Ye Kid says, hey, mate, I really want to talk to you, but tomorrow I'll be on We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match pump-up. Man, that's exactly where you'll be talking to me because I'm the host. So get yourself on there and check it out. Like I said to everybody, 5:30 tomorrow, the pre-match pump-up. If you are depressed, doesn't matter. Come on and see me. You are guaranteed to leave with a smile on your face. I'm pumped up for that match. You'll have her. So make sure you get over, check it out. But sorry, Mike, how dare me? I rudely interrupted you.
That's okay. Not a problem at all. My score prediction tomorrow. You might be surprised at this. Everyone might be surprised at this, apart from the Paxton
Apart from
boys.
me, because I've got it written down right here, mate. So let me see what you're going to say now.
I'm going 3-0.
Yeah, he's going 3-0. That's what he's put down here. 3-0.
I'm going 3-0 tomorrow. I don't see Sheffield. I'm not going to say it because in case it does happen, but I'm very confident tomorrow. I think the boys will turn up. I think we'll do the business, and for once, they'll put a smile on our faces. Well, as best as they can, anyway.
I was going to say, not for long.
Yeah.
And before we get Darius, Will Stewart, THFC Rads, my man, absolute legend, man. You're a hero. We need at least get Conference League after we lose Kane and Son in the summer. It'll be our only chance at a cup. Yeah, look, Will, to be honest with you, I would even take you up a Conference League with Kane and Son. I don't care. I just want them extra games and to watch my team on European nights. I grew up around so many Liverpool United fans. They used to be, we'd be out on the estate playing a match, and then they're all smart and snobbery, and we have to go in and watch our team in the Champions League, and I'm standing there kicking a ball off the wall on my own because I can't watch the game with them, right? And all I wanted to see was Spurs in Europe, so I don't care, Will. I'd take any sort of Europe, my man.
For real.
Honestly,
5 more. That's all we need. 5 more. 5 more to get the
170,
and then we can go. Because I'm bloody tired, David. But let's get. What is it? 5. Still 5 more.
Paddy Harnett says, tag the lads on your page, pal, so we can follow it. It's in the description below this video. Get down there, smash it. We only need 5 more. Shane is tired. He wants to go, so do it for him. But Darius, what's your score prediction, my man?
Oh, mate. I have a rule on Paxton, and these two will know my rule. And I went against my rule once, and that was a Newcastle game. I said
your rule, mate.
I will never, ever, ever predict Tottenham to keep a clean sheet, and I'm sticking by this for the rest of the time I'm on YouTube. So I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs like I did on Paxton, and I'll give you goal scorers just because I didn't on Paxton.
Wow.
I will say, oh, God. Dombele again, and Sonny. Sonny needs to score, and I love Sonny so much. So yeah, 2-1 Spurs.
Love it. And Kieran?
I'm actually going to go 3-0 as well, to be honest. I reckon Kane gets a goal. I reckon Bale gets a goal. And I reckon Ndombele gets one as well. Would like to see Son get on the score sheet as well. So I'll take a 4-0 if that's on the cards as well.
We are quite
Also,
literally one subscriber off. I was going to say, we are literally one subscriber. We hit it.
I'll just sit here and stare at the camera. Like I said, I don't mind. Doesn't bother me.
You don't have to stare for much longer, my friend. We are on 170. Those guys.
Come on, that's what we're talking about. How much of a gain is that off this show alone, lad?
They smashed it. They absolutely smashed it.
That's what we're talking about. That's the power of the Harris Army, and this is what I keep telling the Harris Army: show people that we have the power. We can do anything we want out here on YouTube. Absolutely love it. But no, lads, it's been a great show. We are going here now. I want to say a massive thank you to the panel for your time. I want to say a massive thank you to all the super chatters for your support for the channel. Honestly, really don't know how much it means and how much it helps us YouTubers be able to keep doing our dream, keep putting out this Spurs content, and quit our 9 to 5 to be able to just dedicate our life to Spurs. So thank you so much to all the super chatters. I want to say a massive thank you to all the channel members as well. You're also a massive help. You really don't understand. You help create the fan show as well. So big yourselves up. I want to say a massive thank you to the Harris Army and anyone else for tuning in. Put your comments in and let me know your thoughts in the video below. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. If you are new, make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel. The big push for 3K is on before the end of the season. We've already grown so much over 6 months. We're already at nearly 2,100. So until next time, take care of yourselves. And everyone, let's give them the biggest come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.